Hey, how you doing? This is SEIJIHITO here to bring you another live stream. And it is clearly as titled. Technically, I was going to throw up some videos directly for you guys, and that was going to be it. But I stumbled upon something while being online, and as this title states, is this the most racist app of 2026? Um, Yo, what is up, Sham? What is up, Sham? So, what you're clearly seeing directly in front of you, and at least I can't tell you if it launched specifically on the 1st of February, but the main responses that I was able to find that dealt with the app came on the 1st of February. So, what you're looking at here, right? Some people are like, "Yo, Sergio, what do you mean that this is a racist app? I don't see anything. How could it be, racist? We just see the United States. It's blank. It got a little index of avoiding stuff and yada yada yada, right? So let me go to just some things specifically, right? If you go to filters, right, of course you see the normal, it has a violent crime, bail, public housing, and then it starts looking real strange. Section 8. You got the meth clinics, payday loans, beauty supply, Boost Mobile, Popeyes and Church's Chicken, Waffle House, liquor stores, pawn shops, Hoopity. I don't even know what that is. That one I'm not even sure what that is. And then of course they got the violent crimes and then the classic MLK streets, right? Some people are like, well, that doesn't mean that the app is racist. We need more proof to say that it's racist, because the things that were listed, those could be anywhere in anybody's community, even though for those people, I know you're lying, right? But let's go a little bit to the right. Now we start going to the names. So for the name directory, that they have directly over here, 447 names, right? They got Jamal, Tyrone, Lakeisha, right? Aaliyah, Ace, Adonis, Ashia, Kira. You got all of these different names directly down here. Look at Daquan, Deshaun. And so I just want people to understand, no Black American created this app. I want y'all to understand this, right? So the reason why, and again, this, for all intents and purposes, it pulled up to the scene on, Black History. Color me surprised. So you keep going directly through the name, and of course you got to have this is how Ebony. Come on now. Crazy work. So you can clearly see we're going directly through the name and trying to just scroll through as quick, as possible. But pretty much all of the names that you hear, you would just so happen to see in the Black community. You wouldn't see these names in other communities. I don't care what nobody has to say. Let's just be, honest directly out here, because nobody can try to, oh no, I know some white people. I know some Latin. No, you don't. Shut up. No, you don't. No, you don't. Right? So, you can scroll directly through here, see all of the names directly there, right? So now, once you start zooming in, this is where we start to see what it's doing, right? So in the main areas where that there is a Black population there, you start to see that automatically the app is telling you, like, hey, if you look directly at the purple, anywhere that there is purple, right? So this lets you know the group that it is specifically targeting. And it's also letting you know the group that is being used by in order to quote unquote avoid the other group, right? So again, so we look directly at Detroit. We know that Detroit has a high population of Black Americans directly there. If we look at other areas directly down here that pretty much are either Black to non-existent, which again, it's a little bit weird, because in a variety of places around Michigan, from at least what I know, there's Black people spread directly out, few far and in between, but still spread directly out. But again, you got all of these. You got Grand Rapids directly down here. It's like, oh, everything is green. It's peaceful. It's no crime. And that's the one thing that's completely stupid about things like this, when people decide that they want to make this stuff, is the dishonesty that is there. Because in their minds, in a lot of folks' minds, and again, this is the United States here, in a lot of folks' minds out here, they fully believe that if you have a place that is void of any type of color, right? If you got a place that is void, 1000% of black people, that obviously there's no crime there. Nothing is happening. They don't have no crime. They don't have no drugs. They don't have no alcoholism. They don't have no DV. They have no drunk driving. Like, they make it seem as though that it's just pristine. It's just the most peaceful as peaceful could be. And if that's the case, then realistically, you shouldn't have firefighters because no fires should be starting at all. It doesn't make sense how fires to start. Then you wouldn't also need the EMS at all. Why would you need the EMS? Because if you think about it, all of the stressors come from black people. Whenever black people are around everybody gets stressed, high blood pressure, and all this other. You take the black people directly out, everybody's 100% healthy, right? So you shouldn't need the EMS, right? You especially should not even need the police there. But we all know that in all of these areas, no matter how green that they may be, we all know that the police are still present. The EMS is still present. We know that they still have 911 directly there. Because again, nothing bad should be happening. The only time bad things happen is when black people are there, right? Because that's what they want to make it seem. So if we further go directly in, let me do. Right. Let's go directly in Detroit, Michigan. Right. So if we go directly to the side, it says nearby, you got 3 Popeyes. Section 8, 28. I don't even know what that means. 28 Section 8. I don't even know what that means. LIHTC. I don't even, that one I'm not even sure what that is. Just gonna be real with you. Boost Mobile. I'm not sure what Boost Mobile has to do with anything. I mean, I guess they're trying to say that black people can't afford actual phones, so we have to go to Boost Mobile to be our service provider or something. I guess never heard that stereotype before. I thought it was just the Obama phone thing. Weirdly enough, liquor stores. Now, the funniest thing is, in the black community we do have liquor stores, but in the white communities they have wine stores or wineries or whatever you want to sit up there and call it. They have their own version of liquor stores. It's just called something different. And it's crazy to me how you have this stereotype of the liquor store when in quite a few communities they have liquor stores. It's just called different. Like it's the weirdest thing known to man. Then you got meth clinics, and then you got pawn shops. I'm not sure what the pawn shop has to do with anything because everybody has pawn shops. So I'm not. Is there a stereotype that I'm not aware of that's hooked up to that? I'm I'm a little bit confused on that. Meth clinics. Yeah, I've never heard of anybody, at least that I've known of, being hooked on meth. Just saying. But also the thing I want to notice is that when it deals with Detroit, you've had an influx of white folks come directly into Detroit as well. So I'm just a little bit confused by the app because we've seen white flight happening across the country, especially into black areas, which is highly confusing, right? So if we go by this app, pretty much the everything is in an avoidance, right? You see this right here, it says 0, purple means avoidance, right? So somebody would have to question me, if black folks are so dangerous, why would you have white folks with their families moving into Detroit? Why would they be moving in downtown or even surrounding areas in Detroit that are near downtown if the greater majority of the population of Detroit is black, and quote unquote the blacks are dangerous, the blacks hate the whites and they're anti-white and all they're going to do is rob and try to take the lives of the white, right? If that is the case, then why the influx of white folks into black communities? Because somebody lying. Somebody has to be lying here. Somebody has to be lying. Somebody has to be lying. And another reason I want to show off this is due to the fact to showcase the fact that we as black Americans, we don't have this type of obsession with other people. right? So this person is obviously, right, has a type of intelligence where they can, make an app and hook and link certain things together and all that other type of stuff. So many things that you could actually have done when creating an app like this, but you specifically decided to be racist. And then you'll have people online that will try to sit up there and tell everybody else that, oh, the most racist people out here are the blacks. The most racism I've ever faced is from the black. You even got black conservatives that want to say they want to parrot the exact same words. And I said this before. I'm like, for the white folks out there who follow black conservatives, you guys are fools, because you're paying somebody black to give off your own talking points because you're not strong enough to stand 10 toes down to give your own talking points because you're what, afraid to get canceled. You're afraid you're going to lose your nice job, or some of the black friends that you have, even though you shouldn't have black friends because you're racist. um you're going to be barred from a lot of things. That doesn't make any type of sense, because white people genuinely actually support racist. We've seen this before. You can look at a whole bunch of GoFundMe's throughout the last 10 or so years, where white folks and many other people have donated to racists, people who are openly racist. You can clearly see the videos online. I've covered these videos before, and everybody knows what that person has stated, how they said it, how they meant it. And they were like, oh, I support this person 100%, but I'm going to support them from the shadows. I'm going to support them from the darkness. And I'm going to throw 100,000, directly to them. I'm going to throw 1,000 to them, 10,000 directly to them, 500,000 directly to them, almost close to $1 million. So, it's a little bit crazy, right? So the one thing that I feel that is going to happen directly, with this app here, is that once it starts to catch wind and catch fire, you're going to have a lot of the alt right, conservatives, and even maybe some regular conservatives. You're going to have the black conservatives, right? Everybody's going to jump directly on it whenever they happen to find out about it. Make tons of videos about it, talk about it, say how it's a genius app and they need more things, directly like this to protect people and all this other type of stuff. Like I said before, it's going to be hilarious. It's going to be hilarious, because I know that there's going to be a lot of data missing. Because looking through the comment section online, I've seen folks asking for. They were like, "Yeah, now we need you to do this for the Hispanics." Um, Another person was asking specifically for this type of thing, dealing with the Muslims and yada 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 and all this other type of stuff. And I'm like, so let me try to get this straight. Let me try to reverse this real quick. So would white people try to say that this is the green book for them, even though it wouldn't make any sense for them to have a green book because they got the country? So I'm just a little bit confused. And let's not play games. Let's not make it seem like white folks don't know where specifically black areas are. They know where black areas are. This is why they don't live near black areas, right? This is why anytime I would look at WDIV, Fox 2 News, or WXYZ, which is Channel 7, Channel 4, and Fox 2, and I would look through the comment sections earlier on, I would see a lot of white folks in the suburbs who ain't never been around nobody black. Like there's some. Let me see. Let me try to point out some areas that people don't know nothing about. You would have people from like Flushing. Don't even, again. I live born and raised, born and raised. Never been there. You got Bay City, Frankfurt, Bad Axe, right? You got to go like Upper Michigan, Harrison. I didn't even know we even had a lake up there. West Branch. Like, you got all of these areas where only purely white people know about and know that exist. Right, that are not even, like, nobody talks about them. And you would have folks from these upper Michigan areas talking about black folks, talking about Detroit. Like, that's the craziest thing. That's the thing that don't even make sense. And knowing the fact that a lot of these people probably never even left. You see where it says like wait, no, let me give you a better one. Cadillac is eh. Where's what's the name, man? Let me see. Grandtown. Blair, Garfield. I think I might have seen that once, but that might have dealt with Waters. I'm trying to Gaylord. Okay, yeah. So we'll deal with Gaylord, right? So you see this small area here, right? Let's just zoom out, keep it right there, right? So you see where Gaylord is, and we already know where Detroit is, all the way to the south, to the southeast, right? So you would have people all the way up here talking about black people for no reason. I'm like, I can't even give you names of at least one black person up there. I'm like, I'm not even sure how he even found it. I'm not even sure how he even got up there. Right. But these would be the same folks every single time, even underneath stories that have nothing to do with black people. They would still bring up Detroit. They would still bring up black people. And I'm like, that makes no sense. You're in some nowhere town that don't nobody know about. The only time we hear about it is if y'all get hit by like a tornado, severe, storms, maybe some flooding, or like nobody knows nothing about y'all up there. But you always got black people in your mouths. And like I said, for a lot of black Americans, this is what we deal with. We deal with folks that are nowhere near anybody black, but yet that's their focus. Why? Because they're bored. Look what they're around. You got a whole bunch of water and you got some land. You don't got nothing. You got bears, you got Krugers, Wolverines, whatever. You got everything else up there and you don't got nothing. So in order to engage, in order to feel like you have an opinion, in order to be, noticed, to get some light your way, you have to join in the same conversation that everybody else has been doing historically for the longest time possible. Because you don't got nothing. Like I said, it's crazy. And here we are, though. That's wild. Let's see. We got Cleveland. We got Pittsburgh up here. We got Philly. We got Baltimore. Of course, we got New York. Why am I not surprised? Now, oddly enough, I guess it's more green than anything else here that I'm looking at, or maybe they didn't really do a lot because I'm shocked because from what I remember, I could have sworn people said that New York has a black American population, but I guess what they're saying is that because that there are migrants there, immigrants there, I guess it's more peaceful. There's only a few areas here. The funny thing is looking at the shapes here, if anybody knows anything about mining, and I'm just got to bring up crypto mining for a minute. As soon as I saw this map, this is what this reminded me of. Because the only time that I realistically seen these shapes here, in these areas has to do with crypto mining. Like if you have a miner that you have, a personal miner that you have at your house and you're able to do mining, you can open up the app. This is how the app appears. This is exactly how the app appears. And then within the app, it'll give you the information of how many miners are directly in that area and how much they basically pull and all this other type. So like I said, I'm seeing quite a few things here. My bad. Just had to make that little side note there. So we look directly through what we got here. Violent crime, 2,539. LIHTC 193, whatever that is, Section 826, Boost Mobiles, Popeyes and churches, meth clinics, again with the pawn shops and liquor stores, and the top names: Jasmine, Yolanda, Monique, Alicia, and Daryl. Wow. Naomi, Jerome, Alicia, Maya, Leon. Yo, this is crazy. This is wild. What area is this that's marked in red? Wait, how is it marked? Didn't I just go to an area? I could have sworn when I went. Let me see. Maybe I just got to click. Nope. So what area is this? 149th. You got Third Ave. That's wild. But like I said, notice how they got supposedly You got Bridgeport, you got New Haven, New London, Hartford, Waterbury, Meriden, Providence. You got Boston, Baston. Who is that? Salem? Like magically, of course, everywhere else where you know that you're not going to have black folks there because we are not trying to live by the open seas. Like you see this? This is a danger zone. That's basically like, hey, a hurricane is going to come directly up over here and it's going to wipe all of this out. We're not about to be there, brother. Y'all can have that. It's like y'all do not value life. You got it. Like I said, this is looking like some marshlands type area because there's so much water directly. Yeah, it's over. Yeah, it's over there. Let a hurricane come right through there. People getting wiped again. The perfect storm. But yeah, this is wild though. This is straight wild. St. Louis. What we got? We got Ferguson. We got University City, Maryland Heights, St. Charles, Wildwood, Eureka. And I think they said they were supposed to do some type of update where I think it would have like a crime like overlay or something like that. Like I said, crazy work. The obsession is insane. Is specifically insane. I wonder how this map would look if the crime across just in general of the United States was added to this. If people want to be honest about stuff. Minneapolis, Minnesota. What we got? Some of these I've seen before because I've covered stories. St. Louis Park. Go Valley, Falcon Heights, Columbia Heights. I wonder where everything is happening in Minneapolis. I wonder what area this will specifically fall in. Violent crime 75, violent crime 1. Orange is not even listed. So I guess they got to be in between the red and the yellow, I guess. PQ index. Like I said, the craziest part is that it's not if it would actually be if people somebody should just do a reverse app. Somebody should just do a reverse app and just have everything listed directly up there from all over. Because the craziest part is if you're about the protection of people, you would actually want to protect people. Matter of fact, let me just put it like this: if you're actually about the protection of white folks, then realistically, you should also warn them about people that look just like them and the types of crimes that they commit. Because the funniest thing about this app is that you know that they will never put information up here dealing with crimes against children and family. They're not going to put that up there. And you saw when it deals with FBI stats who that is directly linked to, who has the highest propensity directly for that. They're not going to put that up there. Like they could literally make a map and they could have all of the areas of which you got Geppettos across the United States. And this whole map would be so bright because you would the areas that you would see white folks at, that's exactly where they would be. Well, people don't want to do that though. But these are the same folks that say that they care about the children, they care about their population growth and da 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 and all this other type of stuff. This is again because of this type of recession and many other things. This is why you have their population dwindling. Because instead of them being trying to figure out like, hey, let me be, like a scientist so I can sit up there and figure out how to get the fertility rates for, my people up and this, that, and the third and rah, rah, rah. Instead of doing this, you're doing this. Instead of doing that, you're doing this. You're sitting directly at a computer. You're not sitting up there, getting married to the women of your community. You're not even fixated on them. You're not even procreating with them. And the population is ticking down, ticking down. It's ticking just like the doomsday clock. This is why you got all of these white conservatives online, while they're trying to sound the alarms like, oh, our population, we're only 7% of the population, but at one point in time we used to be 30-something percent. What's happening? You can't blame nobody else on that. You got to blame yourself. You're not going to be able to, oh, it was the blacks. Nah. The lies that you tell yourself can only go so far. Right. In the United States, they always try to give up the whole thing. It was like, oh, the reason that everything is happening is because of the blacks. So for the white folks out there, why is your population dwindling? Are you going to say it's because of the blacks? It's because of the urban cities, the ghettos, it's the gangbangers. Hmm? Or are you actually going to take responsibility for your failures and your shortcomings? Nah, they're not going to do the last one though. They're not going to do that. It's somehow, some way, it's going to be the blacks. It's like, I was affirmative action, DEI. It was a civil rights movement. That's the reason why the white population is dwindling. But yeah, this is crazy. This is something wild. We got OKC, Baton Rouge. Oh wait, somebody said what? You said New Orleans? Man, there is so much water. Man, that's crazy. Woo! Wow, Derek, Diamond, Jasmine, Jerome, Daryl. Violent crimes 165, liquor stores 3, Popeyes and churches 1. The craziest part is with all of this stuff, I really thought that they would have embellished a lot more, try to make it seem like, oh yeah, Popeye's chicken is just all over the place. Popeye's chicken is like one on every single block, you know, because they always like to give the stereotype like, oh, the blacks, they always, they all they do is just eat chicken all day. I'm shocked that they don't have anything like a watermelon shop up here. I'm shocked that they didn't want to embellish and even go that far. I guess racism has limits. I guess. Reginald, Terrell, Marvin, Latoya, Daryl. That is wild. Let me tell you, obsession is real. Obsession is real. That is wild. Sam was like, I don't believe nothing I see here. My bad. I gotta go back up. Let me give some shout outs here. We got Concern. What is up? What is up? What is up? Mahoko. Patricia. We got Brandon B. World in the chat. What is up? What is up? What is up? Shout out to the $2 donor brother, said that this man has come back to town. Much love, respect, and appreciation. Phyllis said, what is up? Said it's both. Michael Carr said Ohio. Y'all know how I get. I get a tunnel vision when I start talking. I get deep tunnel vision. Well, they don't really got nothing there. I mean, Cleveland, yeah. Cleveland, Daytona, Columbus, a little bit. It's not even really nothing there for Columbus. They got Bell Bond, Section 8, LIHTC, liquor stores, right? Wait, hold on. I done moved all out of place. Because there was another. Where was the other red area at? Hold on. Am I slipping? Okay, yeah, there we go. Okay, we got Akron, we got Warren. Nothing's happening there pretty much. You got Youngstown. Nothing's really happening there. The refresh rate on this map is trash. All right, there we go. So we got nothing but purple. It was like, all of. So what's up with the black area here? Like, why? Okay, yeah, maybe that was just the refresh rate. Maybe I gotta let the map catch up or something. Nope. Certain areas are just black, I guess. Or I think I don't know. Certain areas are just black for some reason. It's like you can get the data for certain areas, quote unquote, but then other areas just nothing. That's some wild work. Yo, Bushido, what is up? What is up? What is up? You said what up, brother? Said I just got here. What is Professor Hito talking about? Talking about the quote unquote racist app here that only has the blacks listed as the most dangerous. Let me see if I can go directly, because these are the filters, clearly that we got here, along with the names. So I'll just leave that up there. So you guys can let all of that sink in real quick as I go through the comment section. Chris said there's literally a running joke amongst real estate agents that the entire real estate market is based on avoiding black people. Let that sink in. I wouldn't be too surprised. I wouldn't be too surprised. Tough Love said they don't know Owasso is high in crime and full of nothing but palm colored people and Boost Mobile. Like I said, I done seen some white areas where it's like, man, y'all really out here living like this? I'm like, where I'm at in Detroit, look, but I'm like, what is this right here? I'm like, this is crazy. I'm like, people would have said that some of the stuff that I was seeing, you would have thought that it was quote unquote Detroit, as they always like to see it. Like the main running thing that white folks like to do is that when they go through Detroit, they specifically and only look for the worst of the worst areas. That's how they get people. And that's what a lot of people, a lot of idiots don't know, and don't want to acknowledge. You even have black conservatives try to talk about Detroit, and a lot of them ain't never been there. I can tell you, a lot of them ain't never been there because there are very beautiful areas in Detroit, but they don't want to talk about that. They always want to sit up there and show you, this is the most rundown. Oh, look at it's just nothing but blocks of blocks. It's nothing but like burnt down houses and this, that, and the third. Like, look at how they live. But I'm like, yeah, let's show all of Detroit though. How about that one? You're not going to sit up there and show where the rich black folks live. And like I said, a lot of people don't even know about that. You got an area where you got rich black folks that are millionaires, and it's a nice gated community where they got their mansions and all of that stuff. I'm talking about you got doctors, lawyers, entrepreneurs, all of this stuff. And I'm like, wow. I'm like, I like for me growing up, I'm like, I didn't even know that even exists. My mom, she was the one that educated me and took me directly through that area. And that was to let me know, like, hey, it like what people like to say about black folks is not the end all to be all. Like we have our own stuff, right? We got millionaires, we got people that have mansions and have land and different stuff. And like I said, a lot of those folks out there, they don't know nothing about that, especially when it deals with Detroit. They would never acknowledge nothing like that. They'd be like, oh well, they probably stole it. A black that's a millionaire, oh yeah, they stole it. Yeah, too many people got a stupid mentality like that. What was it? Yo, Breezy, what is up? You said they call liquor stores out here in Virginia, where I'm at, ABC stores, and they're in white neighborhoods. Yeah. Yep. Yo, Chris, what is up? You said meth is primarily a white drug addiction. Yep. 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 Somebody said this is BS. Is pure ignorance about blacks. Sad. Let me see. Let me see. The craziest part is this is why I love that's why I love trolls. You had somebody in the chat talking about all blacks go on about is about race. But yet we're looking, that's how you know that a lot of these clowns are just like bots and they're like AI. When the title of the live stream is about, is this the most, racist app of 2026? And I'm showing you the app and I'm showing you the listings that they have directly up here. None of these are names that you would primarily see in the white community. None of these are quote unquote the stereotypical names that you would see in the white community. The areas that I listed that are quote unquote the avoidance areas are not white areas. But yeah, all blacks talk about is race. I like when people just ignore what's directly in front of them. That's some crazy work. That is. Yo, Lynn, what is up? You said facts about those outer limits people. Chris said, show New Orleans. Way two said we stay rent free in their heads. It's bars. Patricia Griff said Bronx. JV said, why avoid Memphis? Hey, like I said, I do not know. Let me tell you. I wish I could actually just have it fully just like highlighted and minimized while I'm going through this. Pure Heart said, decent brother here. Keep it foremost. May God bless and prosper you. Much love, respect, and appreciation. Shem said they got the highest drug use as well. Chris said, yep. Shem said highest DUIs, and they just as bad. They got just as bad gang activity. How they think those biker gangs, KKK, and Proud Boys found themselves selling hardcore drugs to their own. Yeah, like a lot of the biker gangs, they even still to this day bike again gangs because white people make it seem like, oh no, we don't have gangs. Yes, you do. You got biker gangs. You also got those who are part of the police force, and also you got gangs within the military. So it's crazy how white folks want to make it seem like they're just these pristine people. They do no wrong. They're just on the right side of God, and it's everything but that. Everybody else is evil, but they're basically the right hand of God. It's some crazy work. Like I said, the stories that they be selling to people is insane. Insane. Sham said, I don't believe nothing on here. Looks like WS statistics. Yo, Pink, what is up? What is up? What is up? Chris said that's crazy work. Yeah, it is. 100%. 100%. But this is where we are, guys. You know, this is it's a clear cut where we are. We got, of course, Minnesota. Okay, that's going up towards like Canada right there. North Dakota, Montana, South Dakota, Wyoming, Idaho, Utah. And the crazy part is dealing just with let me just turn it down. Dealing with the Idaho, the Montana, the Wyoming, Colorado, just dealing with this map should be lit up for a variety of reasons, especially dealing with the fact in I think what is it in like Idaho, Utah, and Wyoming. I'm not sure. Maybe in all these areas they should have like some compounds and things like that. Things dealing with the Mormons and all that type of stuff. Like I said, it's crazy how these folks never want to talk about the Mormons and how it is that they got those compounds and they be marrying off teenagers to older men. Nobody wants to, they don't, you don't want to highlight that. You don't want to talk about that because that ain't no other group in the United States. That is you. That is you deciding that you wanted to have your piece of land for your quote unquote religious purposes. And within these communities, this is how y'all be moving out here. It'd be like the Handmaid's Tales. Somebody's 12-year-old daughter getting married to somebody that's like 65. Like wild work. And now she got to sit up there and be a housewife, and she got to bear like 6 to 9 kids. Wild work, crazy work. But hey, the black areas. Hey, you gotta be cautious of those. gotta be cautious of those. Gotta be aware of the blacks. Gotta be aware of the blacks. Right. We got Seattle directly up here. Port Orchard. Never even heard of that. First of all, brother, what? Why in the? I mean, I guess there really are no storms that will come directly through. I mean, unless a tsunami happens. Let me see something real quick. Yeah, if a tsunami happens, yeah, it's over. It is over. Matter of fact, let me just look at Alaska real quick. Hold on. Oh, we can't go. Oh, brother, we can't go up. Wow, that's wild. All right, never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. This is wild. Was that Mount Vernon? Yeah, it was. Mount Vernon's up there. We got Kent in the orange. We got Tacoma, Washington. We got Seattle with the perp. What just? How does that even happen? Okay, there. Okay, so it must have to like refresh. It's weird that it showed it as such a deep purple. We can actually get in pretty close on these areas. And I think they said that they're supposed to be adding satellite overlays. Japantown? Wait, that's a thing? Huh? You know what the crazy part is? I can't say that that's weird because we would always call, I think it should have been Southeast Detroit, Mexican town. Because that's pretty much where you would have all the Mexicans and all the restaurants and stuff like that. So yeah, can't I guess they got a high population of Japanese here? I'm confused though. So where Japanese town is, so what? You got a high population of black folks there in Seattle? That don't I don't how did that work out? Because at least going by Detroit, from how it is that I grew up, I couldn't tell you where Asians lived. I've never seen anybody Asian live in Detroit ever in my life. So I'm a little bit confused on if Seattle is this avoidance area, and I'm guessing that there's tons of black people there. How do you have a Japanese town there? That's a little bit weird. I would expect the Japanese town to be somewhere, over in the areas where the water is, dealing with the seafood and different stuff like that in the ports. But I don't know. I don't know. Sham said their gangs be recruiting via a video games too. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's facts. That's facts. Yo, Waba, what is up? What is up? What is up? Barb, you said might use this app to find real estate and blackenize the neighborhoods since their planes. Shauna said, "What is up, fam? What is up? What is up?" Bushido said, "So what is where? So if someone is driving around like Google Maps collecting data and businesses in the area and pin them for the app." Huh. I mean, from what I was able to get from the social media of the person who made this app, was that they were just getting the open information that's directly out there. So, however it is that they, had the map, they probably hooked that directly in there, and then on top of that, they use whatever data that they were able to get, directly online, and just layered it on top by area. So at this moment in time, it's only one person, working directly on this app. The craziest thing is you would actually think that there would have been way more directly to this app, since America doesn't like the blacks. You would have thought this map would have had a VR and augmented reality and everything of the sort directly here. So we got Oakland. So it's as if it's just like in a straight line. What road is this technically following here in Oakland? Okay, I'm just gonna say Frank H. So you got 14th Street, right? So you got 14th Street. What is that? To Alice Street to 12th, going down Lake Boulevard. Then you got International Boulevard. Still following International Boulevard. We got Fruitsville, International. That's crazy. And then when it cuts through this area, this is when it gets a little bit different. Violent crimes in Melrose, 272. Violent crimes, 178 in this area here. Lockwood Gardens, 324. This one, 292. Like I said, it's very interesting here. I can't wait to sit up there and see what the black conservatives are going to do with this. I cannot wait to hear their talking points. I know it's going to be stupid. I know it's gonna be stupid because the way that they're gonna flip it is like, see, this is what we're talking about. See, it's like, the blacks every time they're somewhere, look at all this crime, but look at everybody else. Look at how everybody else can live so peaceful and nothing's happening and yada 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 and all this. Woo, man, those talking points are gonna be flying. Let me tell you something. Barb said, what is the 13 PQ index? I have PQ index. Transform selected filters into overall peace and quiet scores of 0 to 100. So purple is avoidance. What is that? You got like a dark red, normal red, then it goes orange, which I guess you could say is medium. Okay. So you got the again orange, which is pretty much in the middle, and then yellow above, green, and then I guess you could say that that's evergreen. So orange is pretty much the medium before you get to everything else. If there's orange directly in the area. Santa Maria, Los Angeles, San Diego, Tijuana. Look at this. A lot of places I never even heard of. Let me tell you. Let me just be honest. We got good old Texas. It ain't nothing happening here. You got Georgetown, you got Killeen. It's crazy. You got Waco directly up there, and Waco got a history. Got Kelburn. Shocked I actually pronounced that one right. Plano, Texas. That was another one too. That had something. Rockwall. I don't even know what Rockwall even is. Rockwall Downs. Barb said, does that mean 13%? I mean, possibly. Wait, are you looking it up on your end? Highest zip code densities. Dude, that's wild. You got different rankings and stuff directly up here too. Wild. Okay, so now, when it's small, I had to refresh it so it actually looks like that. Okay. Yeah, this is gonna be. I say give it a few, and it's gonna be even crazier. Wabba said the only concern about everybody, the only concern everybody ever has about black folks. Yep. Wabba said, yep, I never knew where Asians live. Neither. Plus, they get mad when you call them the wrong type of Asian. Yeah. Yeah. It's almost in the same vein as when you mistake somebody who's Australian for somebody who's British and somebody who's British for Australian. Yeah, they don't like that at all. that's pretty much a slur. From what I've learned. Barb said, when you zoom all the way into the red areas, it shows 13 as the PQ. I wonder if that was just a coincidence. I would not. Let me see. Let me go to a red area real quick and go to Detroit. PQ is 40. I'm trying to get a red area because we had one. I got to stay close though. Okay, there we go. Well, that's red-ish, I guess. That one's red. That's a 31. That's a 25. That's a 4. How is that a 14 purple? And it's red. I'm a little bit confused on that. I mean, no, it's the avoidance. Yeah, okay, yeah. That's a 25. So that's bad. And then this one's at 0. I don't know. I mean, it's a high possibility that it could have been like, oh, that's the 13%. But like I said, it'd be like that. It be like that. So again, people want to check this out. You got the name right up here. Right directly up here. Peace and Quiet IO. Diabolical work, let me tell you. It be like that though. It 100% is like that. But again, it shows you uh who they like to focus on. Like I said, out of everything that you like, dog. So this person probably could have made a map dealing with a planet in near Earth objects. Could have potentially did something like that. Nope. Could have made a map about pollution and listed the most polluted areas around the United States, and also talked about the air quality and the quality of the water and the ground and stuff like that. Nope. Didn't want to sit up there and do that. Could have even made an app dealing with jobs. Nope. Didn't want to sit up there and do that. Nothing beneficial for all people. Nah, 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 nah. Let's just put the racism directly on the forefront and let's focus on that and make a map about that. That is wild. Only time people get creative is when it deals with racism. That's the main thing I'm noticing. This is, like I said, that's the only time that people get creative. Everybody's so creative. That is wild though. That is wild. But yeah, how y'all if you guys have gone to the app on your end, how y'all feel about it? Let me know something. And depending on your cities and whatnot, how you feel about this app? How do you feel about the truthfulness, quote unquote, of this app? 'Cause like I said, this is it's wild to me. And again, they tend to do a lot of stuff like this on on Black History Month in order to take attention away and to give themselves attention because they know what it's going to do. Could have brought this app out at any other time, but it probably wouldn't have gotten any type of notice. So this is why I stated before, the moment in time that people have something that they feel that they got going, they have to find a way to specifically fit Black Americans within that in order to draw attention and in order to get people to look over in their direction. Like I said, some crazy work. 100% crazy work. And you had that one clown earlier talking about, oh yeah, you all you blacks ever do is just talk about race. No, we bring awareness to a lot of clownery directly out here. And the crazy part, speaking of racism, I actually have a few videos dealing with folks out there that want to be the utmost racist to black folks. I got one dealing with a black woman dealing with racism, but she handled that woman who wanted to be racist towards her. And I got another video dealing with a black security guard, and you had some Mexicans that wanted to keep using the N-word. I'm like, that's wild. I'm like, instead of you focused on your person that's basically hurt, you want to focus in on a black security guard and you want to film him and you want to call him all type of slurs. This is why, again, this is why I sat up there and stated, for a lot of black folks out here, you need to just mind your business when it deals with this whole instance. This is why, again, you got this app right here that somebody obviously that's non-black came up with and specifically wanted to point it towards black Americans. Let me see, if matter of fact, since we're here, uh let me see if I could find the video that I was just looking at. um Let me see. I got to go to real quick because there was a two things I want to also list as well too. Number one, I I sat up there and spoke to y'all about the fact that kids would be in danger when it deals with um folks out here wanting to attack kids at these protests. I can't, technically post you said you posted them or you're reacting to the videos on stream. Um I mean, I could post the video directly to my Discord. Because I would have to. It would take me a minute to do like the editing, so I can catch a lot of the words, so that it's fine to actually post and have directly up there. Because YouTube gets quite funny with stuff, which is weird. But before I go to one of the videos that I want to list, let me see if I can get the face of the guy. Is that the guy? Is he shirtless hands, attackers? Let me see. I might have to go back and look for it. But yeah, there was a Caucasian male. I think this should be him. I think this should be him. But there was a Caucasian male that decided that he's all MAGA and he wanted to pull up on some kids and he wanted to park on the side of the road and go after the kids with a sign. And the first person he started attacking and swinging directly on, it was a young girl. It was a young girl, and they were just sitting up there, wrestling in this little, ditch area on the side of the road, and then the kids had to jump him in order to get him off of her. And this is why I told people before, I'm like, yo, stop allowing your kids, because the main thing that the school said, let me see if I can get that picture. Uh I was trying to do the camera. Let me see if I can get the what's the name? Because when I went over that information, if I remember correctly, they stated that it happened off of school property. From what I can remember, police almost the same everywhere. Yeah, I don't think I got it up there, or it might be saved in a different area. But yeah, it's some crazy work. And then to the point that the guy that you see here, he drove after everything happened. He drove home and then shaved his hair and shaved his mustache so he can avoid being detected and captured by police. I mean, he still got caught, but it's like, you did all of this for what? Because you got a difference in political opinion. You don't like the fact that the kids are out there protesting. That's crazy. Let me see. During protest, let me see if I could find that video. Because if not, I might just have to use the one that the. Yep. So let me just show y'all this video real quick. Because somebody got to explain to me, where were there any permission slips for the kids to be out there during the protest? Because I'm a little bit confused on this right here. And this is what I told people before. You got to be watching these school systems and how it is that they are teaching your kids. High school students use their shields to protect protesters, right? And you clearly see them. They're in the street. So I'm a little bit confused. Why would high school students be in the middle of the road? I don't care if it's blocked off or not, because that's not going to stop somebody that's barreling 100 miles per hour, through whatever cars that might be helping to block that area for them to like run those teens down. Why would you have teenagers, high schoolers, in the middle of the road, blocking the road, protesting? This is what I'm talking about. The school system and others are specifically placing kids directly in harm's way. And again, for the black folks directly out there, you better tell your kids don't be part of these protests. Just because everybody else is sitting up there doing it, don't mean that you need to sit up there and do it. Because let other people get hurt. They want to go out there. They don't really care about their life. Whatever. You don't need to sit up there and follow just because everybody else jump off a cliff. Don't mean that you got to do it. Like I said, I need a lot of parents to start doing better. I need a lot of parents, and then you got adults directly right there. Oh, let me snap these pictures. Let me take. They're gonna make money directly off of this situation, no matter how it goes. So again, where are the adults that actually care? This is what I brought up before. Where are those adults that legitimately care about the kids directly out there? Because this should not be happening. Like I said, people got time to make an app trying to warn people about the blacks, but yet you sitting back idly by and you're not making awareness of doing nothing about this. Crazy work, diabolical, crazy work. But they say that the blacks are the problem. That is crazy. Yo, J Lock, what is up? What is up? You said where are the parents? Waba said so he beat up the children who had political differences. Yep. Yes, indeed. Barb said all their little voices, they're not protecting them. J-Lock said, and they want blacks to join in this fight. Yeah, they do. Shauna said, because the parents are the same age as them, so they don't have nobody to teach and raise them better. That is why. WC late 2000s and 2010 babies. Timothy said black folks need to take this time to build defenses. Shauna said exactly. Sham said black people are taking self-care time. We not out there fighting nothing. Bars. Muhammad said ice out. So one video that I do got up here, that's going to go directly into the situation dealing with ICE. Let me see. You almost put that one up there by mistake. Which one? Nope. That's the one doing racism. That's the. Oh, technically, I got 3 videos. Yeah, I got to make sure to put those directly together. Also, the craziest thing, I might do that one a little bit later. I'll showcase that one a little bit later. So let me go to the edit. I didn't edit it. I didn't edit that video. Wait, didn't I give y'all the video where it was the immigrants built this country? I think I did. Let me go over real quick. Because I know I did place a video up there for you guys. I just forgot which one. Let me see. Too many people. I think that was a part of that video. Let me just check real quick. Because I got hundreds of videos sitting in the background, so it's a little bit confusing. But also much love, respect, and appreciation to any and all of you guys. Matter of fact, let me no, I can't put that up there because of words. I had to think about that real quick. Yeah, I think we did. Yeah, this is the one I had placed up there for y'all for a video. Yeah. All right, so let me just go to the unedited version. Yeah, I'll do it. It's whatever.
I love how everybody's mad about Shabuzi.
So this lady here is gonna just she is African, but she's going to explain something that I've gone over quite a few times before when it's dealt with the whole issue of specifically what Africans think about Black Americans, right? So let's just take a listen to what she has to say.
I love how everybody's mad about Shabuzi. But you guys all attack Miss Georgie when she tells you all the time that African kids, we're from the same place. Me and Shabuzi come from the same village. Igbo babes, Igbo people. African kids, I grew up with African parents who raised me under racist ideologies for black Americans. When I talk about it, you guys say I'm pandering to black Americans. I was raised to believe that we Africans were better than black Americans. We work harder. Black Americans are lazy. Black Americans are just all vagabonds. When I tell these truths, you guys try to silence me because you want me to fall into line and lie because it sounds good. I don't know how to do that. I'm always going to speak the truth. Immigrants come to this country and think they're better than the motherfuckers who sacrificed to build. You get what I'm saying? Immigrants come here leaving their country that is so fucked up to talk shit about the motherfuckers that are here, that shed blood to make it possible. I broke the spell of ignorance as an African to learn about black Americans and what they actually went through. A lot of Africans don't do that. They feel entitled. So I'm gonna just go back to my music, because whenever I talk, I get in trouble. Y'all call me racist. Y'all call me this. Like I said, you motherfuckers will one day listen to Georgie. But like I said, all you bitches dead when that come through. You know I'm a boss bitch. Niggas give me money when they want to get the pussy. Black people make that possible for me to spit that. The music that you guys are all over the world, I see all of you enjoying rap, all the shit in music. Black people did that. They made it possible. They fought for genre in the Grammy that motherfuckers are winning. You niggas are at award shows so excited. Black people did that. You better watch yourself, because the disrespect y'all keep giving to these people will cost a lot of you shit. It will cost y'all. Mark my words.
Right? So we heard her. She said, as a African woman, she's Nigerian. She took out the time to learn about Black Americans, to read about the history, all the information that is specifically there. And again, a lot of these folks who just get there, they're never going to do that. They don't care. They're just in their own space. Whatever America allows them to do, that's what they're going to sit up there and do. And they're not going to go above, beyond, or outside of that at all. But yet, those are the same folks that want to ask Black Americans for allyship. They want Black Americans to be directly on the front lines. They want Black Americans to come through and to help them, to represent, to body block, to be a shield, to uplift, to spotlight whatever it is that they are going on, that's going on negatively in their community. How it is that the government, the police, or whoever is treating them. But yeah, you can't even just, do a little bit of simple research in order to, figure out some things, to understand some things when it deals with Black Americans. That's wild. Like I said, I highlight the few that I can happen to showcase that are actually about that life of not being ignorant. And this young woman here is one of them. Out of the many that we done seen online, deciding to, run and open their mouth and say a whole bunch of nonsensical stuff. Like I said, it's crazy out here. It is crazy. What I said, bro, Seiji, how America can't tell the difference between dark-skinned Black people, but know how to give Ethiopians all of that money and block us. Hey, it be like that. Another one that we got, let me see. I don't think it had any sound directly to it. So we can go directly to this one.
In fact, when I joined Spokane, can you imagine, for all those years, until I came to Spokane, my English was not even the way I sound today. Nobody would know that I'm a Kenyan. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, I'll be talking to you right now, and then I start talking Swahili, you'll be like, oh, are you a Kenyan? Yes. And the reason is, I've never had a time to stay with Kenyans. Yeah, I've been University of Alabama. Of course, you guys know. Yeah. Blacks were discriminated fully. Mm-hmm. So even when I was coming to Alabama, somebody was telling me, why Alabama? But they offered me a scholarship, so I joined there. And currently, even the legacy that we left there is still going on up to today.
Who was we?
Now that we even have all the winners of track and field, both men and women, University of Alabama. Check that out. Track and field.
Who is the we? Who is the we? Hold on. Let me see. So Alabama is one of the highest concentrations of historically black colleges, universities, or HBCUs in the United States, with the top institutions including Alabama A&M University, Alabama State University, Tuskegee University, and Miles colleges. So if we know that these colleges existed because of black Americans, I'm trying to figure out who is the we that he is specifically talking about. Because I heard we a little bit too many times. And I'm like, I don't see nobody French. I don't see a gambit nowhere in this picture. I'm a little bit confused. I don't even see nobody Creole. So it's a lot of we. It's a lot of French speaking up in here, but I don't see nothing. And then he got up here talking about that, oh, because I haven't been around, Kenyans, for so long. I basically have, this black American accent. No, you don't. We know that you're African. This man think he like Millie Bobby Brown or something like that. He think he just going from like a UK accent to some basic American accent. That is not what you did here. Your accent, your true accent is fighting for its life at this moment in time. Every time you talk, you are not, you're not getting over on anybody. We can clearly tell. We can clearly tell. Just like the dude doing the interview, we can clearly tell that dude is African. I don't understand how these folks come directly over here and think that can't nobody tell a difference. And especially when it's obvious. That's wild. That is wild. But yeah, you talk about historically black colleges and you talking all this we's. Like, nah, it's just us. That's all it is. That is all it is. What was this video here from the Department of Alabama? Oh, got you. So since it's Black History Month, and people like to say that slavery was so long ago. Let's just go over this video right here.
The Alabama Department of Corrections farms out incarcerated people to work at hundreds of private companies and government agencies across the state.
McDonald's, Burger King, Golden Corral, Wendy's. They got a Wendy's contract right now. State Trooper's office.
They'll send everybody everywhere.
They'll send you everywhere. Yes, the parole office.
And even though ADOC trusts these incarcerated people to leave prison every day and work alongside the general public, many of them are still denied the chance at real freedom.
I work for y'all, but when I come up for parole, you deny me. Why would you deny me? Because because you're getting free service. They want me to come back in tomorrow. They want me to, because they money keep flowing.
This is sad.
Right. And it was also noted from the Post that they said that the state, right, they said Alabama farms out inmates as slave labor for hundreds of companies, including McDonald's and Wendy's. The state takes 40% of their wages and often denies parole to keep their slave labor. I keep trying to tell people, but you know what? Because it comes to a point in time, and I don't want this to keep happening, but this is what I will say about this, right? They're going to allow this to keep going. In a moment in time that it starts hitting all of those folks who are white, I want it to be permanent. Because like I said, people not going to sit up there and understand up until they're meant to understand. And this is what I've told people before about when it deals with, slave labor and slavery, it's just disguised and moved, differently, and it's more out in the open. So it's more obvious, so you're not really paying attention to it. And that's clearly what they did. You're taking 40% of their wages. And that's not even, can they even do taxes? I'm not even sure if they can even do like that. Like I said, that's just crazy. And no telling where the money even goes. Like they're quote unquote making money, but yet not making money at the same time. Like, man, that is wild. That is wild. That is 100% wild. But like I said, everybody ain't gonna understand it up until they people start going through it. So yeah, let everybody else start getting their turn on the wheel, because I want to see everybody else start crying. I want to see everybody up there talking about this is so wrong. Everybody's human. We need some social justice about this. This is just they're doing all of this work and they're doing this for us, and they're obviously safe to be around us, and let them be productive members. If think about this for a second, right? You got these black folks here working in customer service. So obviously they are rehabilitated. They've done enough work. They've been, quote unquote incarcerated enough where they're like, all right, I understand what I did was wrong. And if I get the chance to get back out, I'm going to do what I should have did, the first time. And that's clear cut what they're doing. That's what they're showing. But again, the jails and the prisons don't care, because who has been the main slave force, labor force in these United States? Black Americans. Black Americans. So like I said, it's going to come to a moment in time where you're going to see a lot of the Mexicans and the Latins and whatnot. They're going to perform the powers that be. They're going to perform their normal duties, and they're going to start to shift directly to the next highest population, whoever that is. Don't matter if it's immigrants, Mexicans, Latins, whoever it is, and they're going to start to make laws to specifically target and go directly after those groups. And you've seen this happen directly by way of New York, and maybe also in California, in order to lock them up and to incarcerate those folks and keep them there, because they're not going to be able to, keep doing this exact same thing with Black America. They're going to have to do something different. They're going to have to do something different, because again, the numbers are different. So they're going to have to, rethink some plans real quick. But when it deals with all of these other folks just getting up over here, oh yeah, they're about to be locking y'all up for a lot of these brand new jails, a lot of these brand new prisons, and I ain't gonna lose no sleep. I am not gonna care, and I'm just gonna be honest directly about it, because nobody out here cared, and even still to this day, nobody cares about the high exoneration rates that Black men have when it deals with being incarcerated, being pinned and blamed and tried for crimes that they did not commit, being placed on death row for crimes that they did not commit. None of them care. So again, I'm going to return the exact same energy. The moment of time that it happens to a lot of these other groups, I'm not going to lose no sleep. I'm not going to sit up there and care. It is what it is. Y'all will figure it out. Y'all figure it out. Y'all going to be online boohooing and crying the same way that Black Americans have always been boohooing and crying when it deals with their loved ones who are actually innocent, but they've been framed for a crime. And the craziest part that a lot of these folks don't even think about now is that it's going to be far worse for them, because now they have the technology where they can edit videos. They can throw AI directly in there, so they can just put that, because the courts don't have anything when it deals with they can't protect anything when it deals with AI images and all of this fakery and all this. Nope. Somebody can just clearly like, okay, we got the footage here, and we're going to play that directly in the court. The judge is not going to be able to tell that it's AI. They're going to put something together that's going to look so great that you're not going to be able to refute it. You literally have these young dudes out here on social media doing that live, where they will take the image of somebody who is working at a job. It was this one Mexican dude. He was holding a broom and he's sweeping. The dude took his image, put it into an AI generator, I guess, gave it some prompts, and instead of it showing him with a broom sweeping, it shows him drinking inside of the McDonald's. And then he showed it to the workers, and then they couldn't believe their eyes. They were like, "Yo, really?" It was like, you sitting up here drinking at the job in front of customers. The one of the women, she was like, "Yo, go get the manager." And I'm like, that's crazy. Like, that's how quick you can do, editing like that. And that's not even a video. He just did that with a picture. You got another person that I seen where a guy took the image of this guy that was locked up and he placed it inside of a video generator and showed him, basically made a video of him kissing another dude. Like, yo, he was like, yo, OG, is this you? He was like, yeah, that's me. He was like, okay, so is this you in this video? And it showed him kissing a white dude directly in the cell. And the dude was losing his mind. He was like, yo, like, what the, like, yo, they ain't me. It's like, yo, what is this? Like I said, people are not going to understand up until they meant to understand. It's going to be like that. And again, I'm going to be right here and I'm going to tell people, we ain't helping you. We ain't helping you. Like I said, we all going to be walking around here blind. I don't know what else to sit up there and tell you. Everybody going to be out here just walking around blind. The same way that everybody was blind to what it is that Black Americans have been facing for, since the inception of this country. Hey, I'm directly to blind what it is that's going on with y'all. I don't know what to tell you. Y'all better figure it out real quick. Y'all got enough people. Y'all can throw money directly to the political officials to change laws and to protect y'all. Y'all better start doing that right now. But they won't, because everybody's focused on the blacks. Everybody is focused on the blacks. Some crazy work. Waba said they never listen until they get jacked up. Yeah. Yep. Sean, what is up? What's up? You said America is slavery and America is not going to change it. So yeah, it's time everyone else experience the American way. Bars. Barb said, hopefully they're the new scapegoats and underclass. They keep being racist to us. I need them to see what it feels like. I mean, you already see what's happening. They're not even getting 1% really of what it is that we faced. A lot of these folks, if let's say, even if the government comes directly after them, your families are still alive. Your kids are still alive. You can still, potentially find them or whatnot have you. Black Americans didn't have that option. Once we were separated, And especially you're dealing with a timeline where there was no technology like we have today. They had to try to figure out a way to go get their own people. And again, one of the main ways for us to get our own people, you had to have slaves. You had to have a plantation in order to do this. So there was a lot of things that Black Americans had to do in order to survive, in order to reconnect and to get our families back. We had to buy them back. We had to do a lot of things. A lot of these people right now, they don't understand that. They don't got that history. They don't. Like, that's why it's laughable when folks out here want to do a comparison in between what Black Americans had to go through and then what they had to go through. It's not even close. It's not even close. I don't care what the Irish and what was it? The Irish and the Scottish. I don't care what you had to go through. You got indentured servitude. After you're basically said and done directly with whatever it is that you got going on, you get like some land and some money and you good. You solid. And then on top of that, you weren't even originally considered white. But then once white folks realize that, hey, we'll have greater numbers if we bring the Italians and what was it? The Italians, the Scottish and Irish directly amongst us, and we give them the branding as white, it'll boast our numbers. We'll look better, on paper. Versus, the blacks directly out here, because if all of those groups start getting together with the slaves that we just freed, we're going to be outnumbered. It's going to be a problem. Like I said, conquer and divide. So for the white folks out there, I don't care if you're Irish, I don't care if you're Italian, Scottish, whatever it is. Y'all allow this to sit up there and take place and happen because you allow these folks out here to sit up there and fool you into believing something so that they can bolster their numbers, just so that you can get a little bit of something. Like I said, here we are. Let me see. Waba said they'll see what working hard really looks like. Bars. Sonny said guilty until proven guilty. Yeah, that's bars. That's facts. That's facts. China said people need to watch Life. It literally tells the story of what Black men are going through. Yeah, they're not going to look at that. They're gonna be like, yeah, that's fictitious. That's not real. That was just a movie that some actors played in. Nobody has actual factual data. Like, that's what they always like to say. in order to discredit any of the experiences that black folks historically have had to face and or go through. They always want, oh, we got this. Where's the empirical data? Where's the actual facts and the numbers? Where are the actual records? But the only records that they care to look directly at is if they're white. But then if somebody white is actually giving the truth, they're like, I don't, no. These records aren't right. We need somebody else. We need somebody else more credible. Right? Basically meaning somebody with the same political affiliation, somebody with the same ideologies and whatnot for, the numbers to read how they want them to read, so that then it's palatable and acceptable. But if it shows anything against them or to show that they are the problem, you already know what they're going to say. Just like when I showed you guys the FBI stats before, you had tons of white folks pulling up to the scene, and all they wanted to say, "Oh, we don't care about the FBI stats now. Per capita. That's all they do." Before it was like per capita, it was 13%. Before we had the FBI stats out there like that, it was the 13%. Right? Like I said, they move the goalpost every single time. Every single time. Sean said, yes, white America will set you up for the fall, and it's fake. Yep. Waba said, yeah, they can edit a man not cheating in some other rated videos. Yeah. Yo, Tippy, what is up? Tippy said, then they look at cameras to determine if images on phones are fake or not. Oh, the security cameras. I got you. And going to what Waba was stating in the comment section, talking about the police cams, that also further means that they could do a lot of great editing to the police cams, because how much time do they got? They got about like 6 months to a year or 2 years that magically it takes for them to bring out the actual footage, which makes no sense. Why would it, out of all of the great editors, we got so many great editors on social media, you mean to tell me that it takes you several months to years to bring out the actual footage of body cameras from police? That don't make any type of sense. It don't even take that long for a lot of movies to even come out. So why would you need that much time editing? You're acting like you're working for like a theater or something, like a James Cameron movie. Like it's some wild work out here. It's wild. Sham said, you talking about 4 to 5 generations of removal. There is no reconnect. Yep. Sean said, facts. Sham said, the Irish and the Scottish still own slaves, especially all in the Caribbean. Oh, yeah. I went over that before. Did I read directly from a book? I think I might have read from a book when it dealt with the Caribbeans and how the Irish had plantations out there, and how some of those plantations were, burned down directly by the Caribbean folks, and they took a hold of the land, of lack of a better word, took a hold of the land, and got the plantation owners up out of there. Sonny said, I'm probably the last generation of experience having to search for my mother and family after the system made it illegal to see them. Waba said, plenty of freedmen got Irish and Scottish last names because they were branded. Shauna said, that's what happened to my last name. That's why my last name is Irish. Tippy said, what did I miss? Actually, not much, Tippy. You've been here. Wapa said, my grandmother's name on both sides is Jackson and Kennedy. That's crazy. That is crazy. Let me see. I think we might have another clip directly in here. I mean, now in the Discord, for some of my folks directly out there, some videos I wasn't able to, specifically post, and I didn't feel like doing editing for. One video that I will state, and I'm not even gonna put the image up here because that may cause some issues, because the lady, she has a visible black eye. But for the women out there, for the black women, I put that video directly in the Discord due to the fact that it talked about, and it was a white woman, she was talking about the fact that she was at a club and her drink was spiked, And she woke up pretty much hours later. She had all types of bruises from her arms, swollen eye. Um, Her head was bruised as if hair was pulled directly out or whatnot. I think she may have had some other injuries as well, but she was able to find the guy who did it, because the guy, instead of, I guess, him being arrested or reported, the guy was banned from the bars. And I'm like, that's a little bit weird. I'm like, so why would you just only ban the guy from the bars if you have multiple incidences of this happening and you have women that know who did it? And this is what I try to tell people, like, within those communities, going back to that map that I showed y'all earlier, even amongst those communities, you have high amounts of assaults that happen towards women. So they can paint those communities, they can try to make it seem as perfect and all. It's a high amount of assaults that happen towards women in a lot of these dating and or these bar settings. It's just underreported, or in an instance, it's not reported at all, because a lot of the women do not want to come forward because of fear. And like I said, that was a sad. I'm happy that the woman is alive. I'm happy that she is breathing and everything of the sort. Hopefully she will receive justice. Because if that dude is still allowed to be directly um out there, then it's going to be a problem. It is going to be a problem. Let me see if I can do some real quick. Let me just take a picture. I'm not even worried about it at this moment. I don't think the black eye should really cause too much of an issue or a problem. And this is the type of stuff that I be talking about when people always want to talk about the black community and da 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 and all this other type of stuff. Uh, those type of guys, they never want to bring up the fact of what it is that they do to the women of their community. They never want to bring that up. And you have a lot of white women directly out here. They never want to talk about a lot of this stuff openly. It's a few rare ones that will, if they're angry enough, they'll sit up there and talk about it and and rage out about it on social media to bring awareness. A lot of white women in the white community, they're never going to talk about it or bring it up, because number one, out of fear, then number two, um, they don't want to do anything to make the men of their community seem bad. They don't want to demonize the men of their communities. So they'll keep quiet. And as they keep quiet, the exact same thing that happened to them is going to happen to other women and is going to happen to their daughters. But like I said, they never want to talk about this stuff though. But again, the white community, they'll pull up to the scene that, oh, the blacks, they're dangerous, they're this, they're that, and all these other. Okay. Like I said, I can't tell you how many white films that I've looked directly at, and every single time that there's a bar, there's some type of white dude there that's either trying to plot something is going to happen, or something's already been slipped directly in it. Like it's always a lot of things directly there. It's always a lot of things there. So what I'm saying is, if people want to go out on a limb and they want to say that, oh, whenever they look at black media and whatnot, that's all of that is pretty much real. That's how the blacks are. Then when I look at white media and I see the men in these bars and how it is that they treat and deem and see and talk directly to the women, oh, automatically I know that that's real, because the same way that you talk to your women is the same way that you talk to your daughters. This is why when it deals with now, this is the difference. The older generation of white women, they're really not going to say that much. Oh, the younger generation that grew up with social media, oh, they telling the world. They're going to go directly out here and they're going to give everybody the information that they need to sit up in here, especially the young ones that are teenagers and in their early 20s. Oh yeah, they're going directly to the rooftops. And that's also another reason why you see such urgency when it deals with the government and a lot of those other folks wanting to control the free speech on the internet. Now, that's the craziest part that a lot of people not paying attention to. That there are very huge pushes and initiatives directly out there where folks want to control the narrative. They want to control what they deem to be the freedom of speech on the internet. And they want to be able to have the power and the right to take down and or delete media that they feel is against them. But like I said, some crazy work. It is crazy work. But let me see. Wait, what? You say you agree with most of your comments about relations between all black people. It's a very true. Many immigrants are misinformed about black American people's great contributions. Yeah. What is up there? What is it? Sherry Valentine. What is up? What is up? What is up? But yeah, as I stated before, I try to post a variety of videos, directly out there in order to inform folks. Because if the men in her community are specifically doing that, where else do you see men like this in communities? You also see them in either mixed or in within black communities somewhere somehow. So if they're going to do these same types of crimes to the women of their own communities, what does that then mean that they're going to do within the black community when it deals with black women and things of that nature? So you know because whenever a lot of these women they post these videos, they're not talking about that. And the reason that I also bring that up as well too is that if you look at the chart, it was a chart, I think I might have posted it possibly probably about 3 years ago. It was probably during the pandemic. A lot of the sites for lack of a better word, one specific site, they posted a heat map of the types of entertainment that people like to watch, because I gotta try to word it. And on that map, it showed the Bible Belt, and especially in a lot of the white areas, you have those folks like they would tend to watch a lot of things interracial. So basically, meaning that would be a white guy with a black woman, or black guys with white women. But yet, and if you also looked at the heat map, those are also some of the main areas where racism is a problem, historically speaking, history, and all of that, and even still to this day. So, like I said before, it's a very funny thing when it deals with how it is that people feel about Black Americans, where it's like, yeah, all of this hatred, but then within that, you have this whole thing where you have this what's the word I'm looking for? Because I'm trying to gauge my words. so it's not problematic. You like to watch a lot of things being performed to get enjoyment directly out of, even though these are the same people that you say that you hate, you don't like, and you don't want to be around. That's the wildest thing. You in a whole dead end trailer park, and that's the type of content that you like to consume every single day. And then you want to, have everything dealing with racial slurs and all this other type of stuff. But your imagination, this is what you're fixated on. In your imagination, you want to see this happening. You want to sit directly in a chair in a hotel, and you want to watch, your white girlfriend or wife or fiance with black guys. That's some crazy work. That is wild. That is wild. Let me see. Also, they got rid of a lot of rights because the target is white women. Oh yeah. Yep. Tippy said, "Be right back." Papa said, "What will the family tree book say?" Little Timmy was a bead, and little Bobby got fixed. Ah, that's crazy. TV said because the majority of predators are white. Let me see. Shauna said, yeah, that's why I never changed my last name. And my daughter, she got the last name of her father, but she's going to keep her last name as well too. Oh, so she'll just have, what is it, like two last names, I guess? Or both of the last names will be, I guess, combined without the space. And then if your daughter gets married, then I think that's where the space comes in. I don't know. I forget how it goes, but it's like, I think it's somewhere in that area. I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. Barb said, if you think about it, it's just the slave movies personified in real life. They're watching them too much. Oh no, yeah. Because speaking on what you just mentioned, that's why I got one of the books directly down there. I think I read from it about 3 to 4 live streams back, and it was specifically talking about how the white slave owners perceive the black male slaves, and the different things that they would do, and I also got some other books directly down there as well too, dealing with slavery and how can I put this, certain male activities, people being indoctrinated into certain types of quote unquote male activities, and how that can be passed down, for lack of a better word. Barb said we're sexualized in them by the slave owners, but also treated bad. Yep. Barb said that's why I call it TP, because they're clearly getting off on that. Sham said what's crazy culturally is that black women supported women's rights, but did people know that black men also supported women's right to vote? Probably not. Because whenever you hear some of the other women out there that want to speak negatively on black men, they don't bring up anything that black men have done. They were like, I know black men are just everything negative. They looked out for themselves and rah, 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 rah. It's just that type of deal. And also thinking about it even historically, going back, thinking about middle school and high school, even potentially college, I don't remember them mentioning anything about black men supporting, black women's, rights to vote. So, like I said, a lot of history gets left out. It's crazy work out here. Waba said, yeah, the last name becomes the maiden name. Okay, yeah. Because like I said, I used to remember certain things in order and how it went, but then over time it's like, yeah, I forgot. J Locke said Double G movies, they watch that a lot. Oh yeah. That it's bad. Like when you look at those, woo boy, let me tell you something. Like I told you before, even seeing the images, it's like, yeah, this ain't it. And then if you even happen to stumble upon like just the videos by themselves, it's like you're just disgusted. I'm like, y'all really do this? I'm like, you for what, a few $100s? Like you really allow yourself to go through? I'm like, you really allow them to really? I'm like, man, nah. That's crazy. That's a sad, that is a sad existence. Let me tell you something. Like that is a moment in time in life that I'm like, yeah, I feel sad for people out here. I'm like, man. I'm like, what did I just sit up there and just, what did I even stumble upon? Like, what I even just watch? Like, why? I'm like, Lord. And I'm like, and for a lot of folks not to even talk about that kind, because it's funny to me that dealing with the conversation of let's say black women having a certain type of tone when it deals with black men and treatment and all this other type of stuff. It's like it's always been weird to me how a lot of those folks that make that content, they never talk about the fact that you have black women walking willfully, willingly, without coercion. They're walking into a door to go into a room with a white man or multiple white men to be degraded, to be treated specifically like trash. And I do mean like trash, because in some of those videos, after everything is said and done, they'll take a trash can and pour trash directly on that woman and then put the trash can on top of her. And I'm like, wow. I'm like, thank God I don't have a daughter. Because let me tell you, if I ever had you are disowned, you are getting rid of my last name. There's no coming back from that. I'm so sorry. I don't care how nobody feels about that. Nope. Mm-mm. You are disowned. You are. If you want us to go to the wolves, you are going to be staying there. Like I said, there's just certain stuff that you are not coming back from. In my eyes, you going out there and doing something like that, there's no comeback. I don't care if you even had a coming to Jesus moment. I'm sorry, you can stay with Jesus. you are not coming back to this side. Mm-mm. No. Like I said, that's crazy to me. And nobody wants to talk about how that's going to psychologically, affect, the young, black girls directly out here. That's crazy. That is wild. Like I said, I ain't never seen stuff like that in my life. That's wild. That is wild. Sham said it's not what they think it is. Why they swept it under the rug. It says a lot about a man who was willing to share power versus hoarded. Black men have always shared their thrones. Shauna said, yeah, they call it buck breaking them. J-Lock said, but when you tell the swirlers and the divesting black women that they act like they don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, because they want to ignore it. They want to ignore it. They want to act like that. That's what I was saying before when it deals with those specific types. You can show them the pictures or that content. A lot of them, they'll probably get turned on by it. Remember, those are the J-Lock, the exact same ones that you're specifically talking about. Those are the ones that say that they get turned on by the police manhandling and taking the lives of black boys and black men directly out here. So, like I said, I wouldn't be too surprised. Like, a lot of them are, they're already gone mentally. Sham said they have a huge cultural differences than white men. Despite going through slavery, these men still step up to help get black women the right to vote. J-Lock said it is TP. Yep. Waba said, fact Sham, even in ancient days, our sisters ruled beside us, not behind us. Barb said, wait, why did the chat turn into the blame game? No. It's not a blame game type of thing. It's still going on the whole effects of what white dudes, in a sense, do, and dealing with the whole thing of racism. And then it went from that to the whole interracial thing and, things of that sort. So it's still within like the exact same bounds to basically state that the same types of guys that did that to the woman that you see in front of you are the same types that will inevitably do that directly to black women, either willfully or against their will. So it wasn't, like a blame game type of thing. J-Lock said, make them eat out of fish, cat, and dog bowls. Yeah, I seen that. Yeah. Robert said, did you see how they got some sisters eating? Yeah. Yep. J-Lock said the comments are worse in those videos. Oh, yeah. And the crazy part is I try to even tell folks about that as well too. That on a lot of sites that they don't know anything about, like they look like they was built in the .com era. You got a lot of those white dudes, they talk horrendous about black women. Like it's like the things that they say, the types of memes that they bring up and make, and it's even worse now that you got the whole AI imaging that they could just create and just put a prompt directly in there. So it's going to be far worse. Like I said, it's wild. Ty said, "Did you see the video I sent you a few days ago?" I think I might have, possibly. Barb said, "Oh, I see." Um, Let me see. Waba said, "Barb, we know you ain't out there milkshaking." Barb said, "And yeah, the women should be held accountable too when they play into it and keep performing for them." Yeah, it's like that's the, for me, the reason, again, the reason I bring it up and talk about it is because I get the fact that anybody can go wherever it is that they want to go. Cool, fine, no problem. But when it now has a detrimental look and is playing into a stereotype, that's a problem. Because just as I was able to see those videos when I was young, and again, I'm talking about, I saw these things back during, let's say, like some dial-up era, right? It wasn't this type of internet now, right? That was like dial-up era. And it's like, if I was able to sit up there and see that at a young age, and I'm sitting up there like looking at them, I'm like, yo, I'm disgusted. I'm like, what? Like, how could you, like, this is why? Like, if that was in my mind during that time, and then you got to also think about, if I was able to see it, because I'm trying to get my words together, because it just it's sending me back right now. If I was able to view this at a young age, what does that then mean for the young girls during that time? What does that then mean? Because what they're going to do is like, oh, well, other black women are sitting up there doing it, and it doesn't really seem like they have a problem. Then their pictures are everywhere and all this other type of stuff and da 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 da. So if you got a lot of young black girls out here who suffer from low self-esteem, and they see a black woman or the image of a black woman doing something like that, they're not going to think that, oh, she has low self-esteem too. They're like, nah, it's like she's popular. It's like she has, look at the views. She has, men that basically want to be with her and all this other type of stuff and da 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 and all this other. It's bad all the way around. It's going to have a negative, detrimental consequence. There's going to be fallout. There's going to be ramifications. And, the problem that I have is that a lot of the women out there who are the swirlers, the divestors, all this other type of stuff, they don't report on those types of videos or that content. They don't say how detrimental, how negative that is. They don't speak on how the outlook that's going to, the outlook on black women is already negative. That's going to bring that, the bar is going to be below hell, at that moment in time. And I'm like, people say that they care about, black women and the protection of black women. I'm like, I'm not seeing it. If you still got black women fluctuating specifically into this, I'm like, yeah, that's not it. I'm like, I'm not seeing no type of caring, no type of protection. I'm not seeing no sisterhood, because there should have been, black women pulling up to the scene to be, telling them like, hey, this ain't it. And then, also doing research directly on this and watching some documentaries, you'll find out how racist that industry actually is. And this is why you've had black women who are part of that filmmaking industry. They started up their own, because a lot of black women would be underpaid. They would not get the same amount of money as their white female counterparts, and a lot of other things that will come directly with that. So like I said, over time, I try to tell people, try to bring awareness to a lot of different things directly. I hear a lot of topics that you're maybe not going to hear people bring up, and all of that stuff. Sham says sometimes it'd be much worse because they can get away with it. Remember, the black community has serial killers still on the loose because the target is black women or men and not whites. Waba said, and yet, what's wrong with us only dating and marrying sisters? I feel like we've been infiltrated. Waba said that the way they've been doing this looks like propaganda. Barb said, double the percentage of men marry outside of the race. I definitely remember growing up seeing them say that they're better than us, being the exotic, blah, blah, blah. It had, boy, it had the Hispanic girls being mean to us, LMAO. And he said, but I don't support divestment and being weird about it on both sides. Now women are doing it. I mean, this is the main thing I stated to you before. At the end of the day, for those who just do what they do and just mind their business and they not talking about the black folks, hey, I'm cool. I don't have no problem. Go out there and enjoy your life. The problem that I have is when you got black folks out here that want to do what it is that they do, but they want to harbor a type of negativity or hatred towards the black community. I'm like, I don't got time for that. Mm-mm. I don't got no time for that. I'm like, that's just straight foolishness. And that's why I said before, when it deals with a lot of folks out here that decide that they want to go out, and I don't care who it is, I'm talking about within the black community. When it deals with folks wanting to go out there and date other and talk negatively about the black community, I'm like, yo, you need therapy. You need therapy. Because for me, in my honest opinion, if you're somebody that's black and you have a problem with the black community and you're seeking love outside of the black community, the only thing that you're going to find is somebody who is just like you mentally, with the same ideologies, just of a different race. Because realistically, that's going to be the one common denominator that you guys are both going to have in common. Y'all both are going to be in-house and you're going to be talking about the black community, all types of negative ways. And to me, that's stupid because everything that they're saying, they're also saying it about you, dummy. It's like, it's like that is crazy to me because it's crazy to know the fact that you got black folks out here allowing other folks who are not black, you just allowing them to be racist. And for whatever reason, you're taking yourself outside of that box. Be like, oh, well, I'm different from those blacks. So we know the blacks that we're talking about here. So, she can use, the word or whatever it is to describe them. We already know what it is. And I'm like, you fool. She's looking directly at you. And this is how she sees you as well, too. It's just okay with her because you allow that person to speak that way directly to your face without getting mad and all this other type of stuff. Like I said, it's stupid because I didn't heard stories from both angles. I didn't heard black dudes talking about they've been called racial slurs, right? Or different things in that nature. And I've also showcased videos where black women have been like, hey, when you're out there dating somebody of another ethnicity, white, and then in the middle of a conversation or people having consensual engagements, they want to blurt out the N-word. I'm like, what did you expect? Like it's like what did you expect? What did you expect? Because the craziest part is I've seen a lot of content directly out there where you've had the quote unquote image of a black woman, with the multiple white dudes wearing the Confederate flags or wearing attire that would be considered racist, and them also, saying slurs. And I'm like, are you not a black woman? I'm like, word, this is I'm like, this is what y'all do. I'm like, hey, all right, whatever. People are in the race play, I guess. It'd be like that. It'd be like that. Like I said, if you go online and you look up race play, you will see a lot of those types, the divestors, directly in there looking for a white guy, to race play directly with. And those be some of the main areas that have, so many people, searching back and forth. Like I said, it is crazy out here in these internet streets. Crazy out here. Sham said, I don't have a problem with people who marry many times. The motive is not love, it's fetish, wealth, racism involved. Yo, Ash, what is up? You said, I don't care about IR relationships, but usually something's wrong with the black person, non-black person, or both. Mm, yep. Waba said, can you imagine a position we're in and we willingly spoil our seed or our sister becomes a booty or aka a spoil? Yeah. Barb said, what does a tire mean? Wait, huh? Tire men? Or wait, did you say what does a tire mean? I'm not even sure. Is that like is that a new term or something? NA said it's pretty bad on FetLife. If you know, you know. You know, like I said, you got a lot of places. You got a lot of places directly out there, and again, it's crazy. It is very much crazy. Mo said attire. Oh, okay. I got you. Tippy said, I saw several videos of black men dating white women and their white girlfriends abusing them and calling them the N-word while the black dudes cried begging them to stop. Yeah, I don't know what's up with those black dudes. I don't know where they found those at. That's just wild. That's wild. To me, that's laughable. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm like, to me, that's just 1,000% laughable. For you to just like sit there and to quote unquote, you know, be crying. Like I said, I didn't see any other videos where you got the black dudes out there dating white women and they getting swung on. I didn't see that. And the black, I mean, you put yourself in that situation. It's the same thing I say for everybody. If you put yourself in a situation, you can't be, you know, shocked by the outcome or, you know, what's specifically going to happen. You can't be surprised. It was bound to happen. It's some crazy work, diabolical in nature. Like I said, you can't tell nobody that. Everybody think that they know something. Like I said, I done seen umpteen videos of these women swinging on black dudes, and I'm like, brother, why? You could be doing anything else in life. Why? Well, just why? But I'm like, hey, you better figure it out. You better get your money and run. Because if she's willing to sit up there and swing on you, you know, more things are going to follow right behind that. And again, it's going to be your fault. Instead of running, instead of reporting it, instead of just, you know, separating and moving away, you still want to be directly in the household. You better restart. You better restart and learn that lesson. Let me see. Barbara said, oh, okay, I thought you said a tire around the neck. Huh? Oh no. I said it was trash. I think maybe might have been talking about earlier, but I was talking about how, you know, the guys would throw trash directly on them and, you know, put a trash can, you know, directly over them and stuff. And they said, my man is cultured. So, Bubba said, if our sisters aren't supposed to be our wives anymore, then why do we have a responsibility to protect or lead anymore? You know, it gets to the point where I look at the conversation where it's a merry-go-round, and it's tough. It's a very tough conversation to even just keep being a part of, because it's not going to get anywhere. It's not going to get anywhere because, you know, at the end of the day, if you are a black man and you have complaints, it's not going to be heard. The thing that tends to happen is that if you have complaints, your complaints will be internalized as if you are attacking, you know, every single, you know, black woman out there, and that's not, you know, what you're doing. Now on the other end, if you have black women that have complaints about black men, it will be generalized. And in a lot of cases, you know, folks will sit up there and say like all black men and rah and all this other type of stuff. It's not, like I say, even if you, and this is the crazy part, even if you have a therapist, even if you, let's say if you're a black man and a black woman, and as a black man, you're speaking on what your problem specifically is, and you're saying this, and the therapist is there to translate it. Even with the translation of the therapist, right? Scooby and Shaggy, the woman on the other side is not going to hear nothing. Is going to be internalized, and it's automatically going to come down to, oh, you're attacking me. And I'm like, how do we get here? I'm like, what words did I use to specifically attack you? It's like, yo, I'm listening the complaints that I have, so that these things could be fixed, so that everything is out there in the open. Like I said, it's just it's tough. It's tough. Israelite said, what about the video of the black woman eating dog food for Brad? Like I said, I don't know what to tell people. I just, the images are out there. Waba said, these countries have been at war with our bloodlines and cultures for centuries, and now we're just, what is that? Plopping seeds everywhere, and some sisters have begun to open garden to whoever, not all, but some. Barb said, I'm hearing what I want to hear right now. Sorry, I'm typing a cover letter at the same time. I mean, it'd be like, you got to multitask. You gotta multitask. It be like that sometimes. It's like, all right, let me try to write things directly for this cover letter. Let me make it, because you're doing a cover letter, right? To make it easier, just use AI. Just let AI just type in, give it a prompt. You can even give an example of what your cover letter, what you want your cover letter to be, and just put it directly in there. Again, work smarter, not harder. I'm the type of, again, I'm a futurist, so I do like where technology is going, but I'm also got to live within reality to know what's going to happen with a lot of this tech and how it can be used negatively. But again, when it deals with simple things, work smarter, not harder. Just throw that directly into an AI real quick, and come up with, let it do, 7 different revisions, and from those 7, you figure out which one basically works best for you. And it'll look professional and everything of the sort. Let me see what we got. Israelite said most black men are talking about divestors and black men haters. Yeah, like I said, we're not talking about the greater majority of black women directly out there. You got the segment that is out there being the loudest of the loudest, but amongst that segment, the people that do follow them are normal black women, because some of those sentiments may ring directly with the rest of those women, even though they might not say it out loud and they might not talk like the divestors and the swirlers. They'll be like, yo, I do agree with some of the things that this woman is sitting up here saying, and that type of stuff. Because if the loudest ones out here, who are amongst the minority, if they were just allowed to talk and just be that minority against the majority, they would not have a huge followership, because the rest of the women would be ignoring them. It's like, oh, well, that's just your sentiments. That's just how you feel, and all this other type of stuff, and everybody else would be somewhere, or whatnot or whatever. Let me see, what was it? Sham said, I see a therapist 2 times a week, and it do be hard because she's white. So when I go in on white people, are the problem rants, she sits there quiet. I know that got to be the toughest thing right there for that woman to do. She was like, I'm a therapist, and I gotta sit up here and just therapize and therapize. I gotta just sit up there and just listen. I can't say nothing. You guys sit there and listen. Oh man. Barb said, LMAO, okay, I'm gonna try that. You're right about that. We should be outsourcing. Yeah, that's the one thing I tried to tell you before. It's like, when it deals with a lot of tech, you got the good, the bad, and the ugly. But you got to find the easiest ways to do a lot of stuff. we're not in the 2000s, the 90s, or the 80s where people gotta pull out the old fashioned black typewriter. You gotta have like the ink and the paper, and you gotta use the whiteout or whiteout. You don't gotta do none of that. Throw that directly through AI. Let them sit up there and figure it out. Do some revisions. You can add some things directly to it to spice it up and all this other type of stuff, and you set to go. You are pretty much set to go. A lot of these businesses, they do not care. As long as it looks nice and it fits the criteria, that's all they care about. That's all they care about. What was it? Baba said, yep, there's a group and not all. Yeah. Sham said you can't even say an argument, or she can't even say an argument. She can't even argue back, basically, because it's the truth, and she got to sit there and take it. I mean, it'd be like that. It'd be like that. That's the job that she signed up for. So that is the job that the therapist signed up for. But again, for anybody else out there, take advantage of the whole AI space right now. And if you're trying to get a job, let AI alleviate some of that hardship, some of that heavy lifting, so that you got more free time to do other things. Now, if it deals with people, you gotta write a paper. You do that hard work. Do the hard work. The only thing I would sit up there and say that you would use AI for is probably the sentence structuring or something, or to make sure that everything is aligned right, and that you can pin the what is it, the contributions, or is it the contributions? I forgot what it was. It's been such a long time. But basically, any of your notes, wherever you got your information from, you make sure you got everything directly in there, so it's all tight and right, and everything is good. That's wild. That is wild though. I would say, yeah, AI is good to help you with structure and added advice. Yep. Let me see what else we got. I think we may have another video directly in here, because we were technically going a little bit all over the place with the conversations touching on different subjects. Let me see here. So let's take a listen, because this is one of those guys that we heard from before. So let's take a listen to. Oh no! I think I know what I wanted to do. I wanted to take a look at what this father was talking about here.
Man, so me and my daughter just got into a serious debate. Man, I couldn't believe it, but again, I could not believe this. She was saying how a lot of kids at her school today is going to miss school. They're ditching school to go down to the Capitol building to protest against ICE. And I'm like, okay, why? She's like, because ICE is out here killing people and doing this and doing that. I'm like, oh, how many people did ICE kill? She said, I don't know. I'm like, oh, she's like, yeah, I wanted to go, but I'm like, what? Anywho, long story short, she was like, yeah, I think ICE should just leave. ICE should just leave people alone. Like, what? No, ICE is here to get rid of all the illegals. No, they want to take away all the Mexicans. Like, what? Who told you that? That's what everybody's saying. That doesn't make it real, sweetie, because everybody's saying it. Yes it does. No, show me where Trump is. Where ICE is saying they're looking for all the Mexicans. Show me that. Well, they're just running in people's houses and taking their kids. Yeah. Show me where that's happening. I can't. Well, why do you believe it? Because everybody's saying it. Well, look here, sweetie. I tried to show her some shit. I showed her some shit where they were looking for criminals. Everything that she was saying, I showed her some shit to debunk it. But she was not listening. She was not listening. She didn't give a fuck about the proof. She said, I don't care. This is how I feel. I said, well, your feelings doesn't matter, sweetheart. and I'm saying this respectfully, but your feelings have shit to do with anything. Nobody gives a fuck about your feelings. Just because you're feeling some type of way doesn't make it right and doesn't make it true. Well, and this is what really fucked her up. Because I'm gonna tell y'all this. She said, well, some of these illegal Mexicans have been in the country for over 20 years and they should stay. First off, why are you just talking about Mexicans? This has nothing to do with Mexicans. We're talking about illegal immigrants. Illegal. Immigrants are fine to be here. There's nothing wrong with motherfuckers from other countries coming over here and embracing our country. There's nothing wrong with that. And he's talking about starting with the illegal criminals. She said, no, they're just going door to door looking for people and asking you for your paperwork. That's not what's happening, sweetheart. Yes, it is. Well, can you show me that? I don't need proof. You do need proof. In order for you to believe something, you have to show me where you got it from. No, that's just what everybody's saying. Well, show me where they're doing that. I don't need to. Like, Genesis, in order for you to believe something, you have to see it, read it, watch it, feel it, be there in order for you to know that it's real and it's true. Or you just believe in what everybody say? That's what everybody's saying. So again, back to because this is the scenario I got. I said, okay, Genesis, I got my driver's license when I was 22 years old, but I've been driving cars since I was 16. That's fucking 6 years of driving without a license. But in order for me to drive licensed legally without getting in trouble, I have to go get the paperwork, pass the test, and get permitted to do that. If I don't, and I get pulled over without having a license, they impound my car, I get a ticket, there's something. And I can't just say, hey, I've been driving for 6 years without a license. I don't think I should have to have one. That doesn't make any fucking sense. In order for me to get my gun and carry a gun legally, I have to go down there and get a permit. I have to go down there and pass a test so I can legally carry my gun. So what if I've been carrying it illegally for the last 13 years? That doesn't matter. They're not going to say, well, since you've been carrying it for 13 years, here you go, sir. You can continue carrying it. Fuck no. I'm still going to jail. So no matter how long a motherfucker been living here illegally, that doesn't matter. If he gets caught, then there's punishment and there's that he's going to have to abide by once he gets caught. That's not how this works. But again, it got heated because I'm telling her, and she got heated with me. I just got confused to like, God damn, you don't even want to know the truth? You don't even care? This is just how you feeling and somebody else is telling you this? I watch this shit every day. I've been watching this shit since they started running the election. I've been following politics since Obama, really. I've been following politics. This little girl don't know nothing about politics, and she's telling me what I know is wrong and what she feels is right. Like, what? That's not how that works, Genesis. How you telling me I'm wrong and I watch this shit, but you're right and you don't watch none of it? And I'm sitting here presenting you with the proof and the evidence. She didn't give a flying fuck about none of it. None of it. She didn't give a flying fuck. And that's what I'm like, well, that's the problem. And let's think about this. Not only did she not give a fuck about the truth, but she disregarded the truth and kept her feelings. That's the problem. We don't give a fuck about the truth. The truth can be looking us right in the face. We can see the truth, and we still don't want to abide by it because it's not how we feel. And people do that. Motherfuckers do that. Motherfuckers do that. They are a respecter of persons. Shit, I thought that was the police. They are a respecter of persons, and no matter what that person do, rob, steal, crush, kill, destroy, they are still going to fuck with that person. That person didn't do nothing wrong. That is just asinine. That is asinine. And I thought that was the police. But yeah, that is the problem. We don't give a fuck about the truth. The truth has no bearing on how we fucking feel. We don't give a fuck about the truth. Nah. Why do I need to do that when somebody can tell me how to think? There was another point I was gonna hit. I'm just trying to remember it. But that shit, I'm like, damn, I guess that's the problem. That's the problem. We know and we have the truth. We just reject the truth because it doesn't go with our propaganda. It doesn't go with our propaganda, so we reject the truth. That's fucking stupid. We can't do that. We can't do that. But, I don't know, man. That's just my spew for the day. Let me get back, hit this gym. Y'all be good. Let me know what you think. Drop it in the comments or something. I'm not going to go back and forth with you neither, so just drop it in the comments. Y'all be good. Shalom.
Right. So we heard that. So father having a conversation with his daughter. Daughter wants to worry more about feelings than the actual facts. And that's pretty much where a lot of the younger generation is. They get involved. You see them directly out here on the streets. They're just going specifically off of feelings. They're not going off of any other type of information or, anything of the sort. They're not dealing with none of that. Right. And this is how they get caught up. This is how they got them out there on the streets protesting, being a part of this whole thing and whatnot or whatever, when really they should just stay directly either in the house or they should be directly at school. But because a lot of them, they're looking at everybody else like, oh, you're basically us and all this. And realistically, that's not the case, especially when it deals with Black Americans. When it deals with Black Americans, right? A lot of these other folks are not us. They don't care. They've never tried to be a part of us. They never try to have a symbiotic relationship. They never had a type of respect of which that you could see. It's always been a type of disrespect. And because a lot of things are not specifically taught or information is not shown or given to a lot of these kids, these kids are just walking around, ignorant. They just think that everything is everything and everything is not. And then, it'll come to a moment in time, like he was explaining about his daughter and how she wants to, she was talking about the protest and how everything is wrong and all this, up until she goes through the instance of hearing those folks speak to her a certain type of way or treat her a certain type of way. That's the only moment in time that she's going to actually understand. Up until that point, she ain't going to understand or hear nothing, because her feelings are the only things, that actually matters. Like I said, if she's acting like this now, being probably like middle school and high school, oh yeah, it's over. She's gonna be acting like that when she is, a young woman, her early 20s, going into, becoming older. It's you already see the route that it's gonna go. Emotions over everything. It's gonna be crazy. It's going to be crazy. And man, Mo said it's hard to logically reason with geniuses. That's crazy. First Class said that she probably has a Mexican friend that she empathizes for. I mean, possibly. I don't even know where they're located, but that is highly possible. That is highly possible. Sharice, what is up? What is up? He said people run with the lie. He said, good topic. Much appreciation. What is it? Katie said, I hate people whose mindset is, oh, you're this color, therefore you should do and think like this. Sham said, until the real world hits her and she realizes nobody cares about her feelings. Yeah, like the moment in time she pulls up on the scene and she sees a lot of like these Mexican girls or whatnot or whatever, calling her out of her name. Or like I said, there's tons of videos out there. What needs to happen is that he needs to show, and I'm talking about like just the blatant obvious that people like to do. Like I got a video, like I told y'all before, of a security guard that was called racial slurs for no reason. The dude, he's literally just standing there. He's standing there filming, watching what is going on. And you had two to three Mexican women come out of the blue, decide to turn their phones on him and to start to film and record him and call him directly out of his name, trying to provoke something. Like, that's what I be talking about. Like, that's the type of stuff that I be talking about. Like, he didn't call them out of their name. He didn't do nothing. They just decided to turn around and just start saying this, that, and the third. And this is why I tell a lot of black folks, I'm like, yo, stay out of this nonsense. Stay out of this madness. This is not about us. They never respected you from the get-go. So there's no reason for you to care about this situation or what it is that they have to sit up there and go through. Because when you think about the people that voted for this, it was their own people that specifically voted this and allowed for this to take place and happen in their own communities. It has nothing to do with us at all. But yeah, people want to make this a Black American problem, and it's not. Like, that's crazy. That is 100% crazy. Miss Shay 78, what is up? What is up? Sham said the problem with public education is that they feed our children lies and don't prepare them for the real world, which is true. When they get hit by the racism in real life, they are shocked. Tippy said, but it's crazy how wealthy white people make rules in a country where they're not indigenous in. It'd be like that. It'd be like that. First Class said maybe her dad can show how racist those immigrants can be. It's all over social media. Yeah, I got videos. Like, it don't matter if it's somebody who is from Africa. It don't matter if it's from the islands. It doesn't matter if they're like Mexican or Latin. Like I said, it don't matter what group, even Asians. It don't matter what group it is. They all have, like somebody stated before, everybody around the world has a word, a negative word to describe Black Americans. But Black Americans don't have negative words describing everybody else around the world. Let that sink in. Because everybody always wants to say that Black Americans are the utmost racist towards everybody. But I'm like, okay, because Black people are creative. What are all of the racist words that Black people have for everybody around the world? I'm like, what are those words? What words did we specifically invent that everybody uses in order to describe everybody else? Because whatever we do, we got the Midas touch. So whatever we do, everybody else follows and copies. I can't give you anything. But I know a few words that people use that Black people did not invent that have been used against Black people historically, and everybody else uses it. And the main excuse, the tired, and everybody want to say that Black Americans are lazy. The most laziest, tired excuse that I've ever heard from everybody was like, well, if the Blacks, if they would stop saying it, then there would be no need for anybody else to say it. Wow. I'm like, ain't y'all the same folks that set up there said, well, if the Africans weren't selling the Blacks, then, we wouldn't have took part in slavery. So you're a follower. that's what you're telling me. You're telling me that so as a European, you're telling me that the only reason that you got into the whole thing of buying slaves was because of the Africans? Because the Africans, quote unquote, okayed it. You just went there, was like, hey, when in Rome. Word? That doesn't make any sense. You're supposed to be the leaders out here, You're supposed to be the masters of the universe. You made the earth spin, but you follow somebody else because you didn't know how to be a leader during that time. So, or maybe you took a break from being a leader and you was like, we're going to follow the Africans. We're not going to be to blame for this one. We're going to let the dark continent take the lead on this one. But then those are the same people that turn around and be like, oh, slavery was everywhere. It's not anything that's indicative or specific to to the Blacks. You guys just want to make everything about yourselves. Everybody went through slavery, and everybody's not crying about it. It's wild work out here. It's wild work out here. What was it? Wabba said the only thing that they should be doing is making sure that they fix their paperwork. Sham said it doesn't matter what we tell them, they're already being ingrained to feel this is morally right. It's hard to fight beliefs that are ingrained, but a dose of reality usually works. This is true. TP said, darn, I think white people came up with all of those terms. LOL. Yeah, they got a whole encyclopedia, they got some pages directly up there. And like, out of all of the time that I've been in existence, alive in existence. I did not know that there was a whole, paperwork in a sense. Like you got sheets of slurs that are used to describe people around the world. I'm like, who came up with this? Who came? Like, I never knew that this type of stuff existed. I only just know stuff that's based here in these United States that people say. I didn't know anything about those other words. I'm like, some of the words that they got out there is crazy, diabolical, diabolical. First Class said they don't believe we're racist towards them. That's the narrative that they use to justify their anti-black sentiments. And furthermore, they know if it were not for us, they would not be here. Waba said you got to shake your head like Carlton for Fresh Prince. When you say it, if the Africans. Tippy said you didn't read it. Tippy, I did read it. You always say, I got to edit stuff, Tippy. I'm not about to read stuff verbatim. Trying to sit up there and have me catch problems. Someone's sitting up here laughing. Israelites said racist terms are the one thing that they're good at. I mean, yeah, that's facts. 100%. Like I said, you even got T-shirts right now that people are selling. Also, is that, and I'll put it to you like this. The other thing that is also annoying is the same exact folks that want to talk negative about Black people. They're online by way of TikTok using the terms that we use amongst ourselves. And because it's on TikTok, they think that, oh no, this is just the generational thing. No, it's not. Like I said, you got white folks online trying to break down Black terms that we created. Like Black people were, white folks were not around their communities. I've never heard white kids in their communities call somebody OG or call somebody, like Unc or auntie or anything. That's not anything that they do in white communities. That's not what they do. But now because of social media and whatever the younger generation happens to see, they think that, oh, this is a part of us and our terms. No, it's not. It comes directly from Black folks. It is what we've always been saying and using. This is why when you look directly at Black Panther, you saw one of those terms being used. And again, even in Black films, you see a lot of the stuff used. But for whatever reason, everybody else thinks that they're the ones that came up with these terms and all this other type of stuff. And now they want to have this discourse. Like I said, so many people out here are bored, even though that they say that they make everything and they're the most interesting people alive. It seems that they have a lot of conversations dealing with stuff that they did not invent, create, or even do culturally. It's very weird. Very weird. But you can't tell nobody nothing. Got a white woman and a white dude online talking about the meaning of unction. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, it's over. It's over. Case in point, let me put it to y'all like this. The moment in time that They Not Like Us appeared on Saturday Night Live, and you saw Will Ferrell do a rendition of that, you already knew it was over. It was time to drop it. The moment in time that you start seeing white folks use it, it's over. It's already over. It's time to wrap it up because they're the main ones that can kill culture. It's over. The moment in time that because notice, after all of that time that everybody was like, singing a song, They Not Like Us, it was going for a long, long time. The moment in time that it popped up on Saturday Night Live, it was over. You didn't see people rocking that song no more. You didn't see people praising that song no more. You didn't see people using memes and all this other. You didn't see that. Normally, when it is within the Black community, or Black Twitter, or I said Twitter, or Black social media, whenever it's there, it's going to stay there. Right, we're going to use it for quite some time because it's funny to us. The moment in time other people start doing it, it's over. I even saw like I guess you could call like a mariachi band or whatnot or whatever at somebody's 50th Mexican grandparent or parents party, and they were doing a Mexican version with the mariachi band of They Not Like Us. I'm like, yeah, no, no. I'm like, pack it up. I was like, I don't want to hear that song for like the next 20 years because it's done. Like it's over. This man, yo, what's up, Ty? This man, Ty said, I will vote for Donald Trump. This man, Baba said they had a CD hidden under their pillow. Yeah. Jimmy said now they want to gentrify Unc. They said now it means uncool. You know what? This is the problem that I have. I blame a lot of the younger generation when it deals with terms being gentrified because the younger generation want to be so open with everybody else and they think that everything is everything, and it's not. It is not. You are getting greatly deceived at this moment in time because when you yourself, especially if you are a Black American, when you yourself are not around all of your multicultural friends, they're laughing at you. They're talking about you. They're not defending you. Like I said, but you can't tell a lot of these young folks nothing. They gotta sit up there and learn the hard way. And they will learn. They will learn. Barb said, I blame TikTok. It needs a self-destruct button. Cherie said, slang words. First Class said, I will vote for Donald Trump. Jam said, Seji, keep it real. Will do. Waba said, yep. Sonny said, playing with some big old black. Oh, that was crazy. Barb said, I blame one generation. He said, we need to get it together. Sham said, they can't have Unc. I'm sorry. It'll never succeed. Just like they'll never have, was it TT and Auntie or anything else? Why people don't know how to be cool for ish. I mean, yeah, that's true. This is when I would always see it'll get to a certain point where you'll get a lot of what it is that we say community wise on, let's say, like Disney shows, or when a lot of mainstream shows were popular, like UPN 50, you would have some white folks say, oh yeah, this is off the chain or off the hook. I'm like, no. I'm like, put it down. Stop raising the roof. It took white people 20 plus years to stop raising the roof. And even in some instances, you can go to some stadiums and still see white people raising the roof. No, put the roof down. Put your hands down. Just sit down. Like I said, it's so corny. It is 1,000% corny when they start using a lot of terms that they would, you're talking that slang, that ghetto, whatnot, right? They would have everything negative to say about it. But the moment in time that one of their white constituents or celebrities say it, they'll be like, oh, I'm hip. This is what the kids are, saying, nowadays, I'm with it. Oh my goodness. It's so tiring. Like I said, this is why a lot of Black folks say it's tiring being Black. Because it's like no matter what you do, you're always wrong and it's always something negative. But then the moment in time there's somebody that takes what it is that you normally do or say, they do it. Like if somebody white, does a dance or they wear clothes, like what was that white girl? It was a white girl. I think I might have showed the video directly of her, a picture. It was a white girl online that said that she was dressing a certain way. Where's the white dude from Breaking Bad? Let me see. Jesse Pinkman. Let me see. We can just get that. Put that name in here so I can get some of the clothing, because he invented he invented the style, as the one white girl basically stated, right? Like the craziest part is, let me just show y'all this real quick. It was a white girl online and she done swapped her styles quite a few times. So she said that the reason why she dresses like this is because of Jesse Pinkman, basically the actor off of the role an actor played on Breaking Bad. if you look directly at how this dude even has his clothes, this is early 2000s. I was wearing stuff like this. Like, I'm like, it's crazy to me, and this is what I'll be talking about. You would never in a million years normally see white folks dress like this. The only time that white folks start dressing like this is when, again, they see their white constituents, when they see the actors that they love, they'll start dressing like this. If they happen to see a white rapper, aka Paul Wall, they'll start dressing like this. Right. Or if maybe possibly they're around the black community and they're with it, they're about it. I gotta say it like that. Then they'll try to emulate that. It's one of those three. Because average white people ain't dressing like this. Especially even back during the 2000s. Average white people were not dressing like this. They weren't going out the house looking like this. Like I said, if you even saw white boys in the suburbs doing stuff like this, they were counterfeits. They did this because it gave them a different image. It made them look different. Because they went from looking like the standard issued Brad to now looking like Brando. However it is, they want to, try to give themselves a street name. Like, even with that, like it was corny. Like, you got a standard issue name, and then you want to try to give yourself a street name. You out in the suburbs, like you and your family go hunting. You go to vacation on Hawaii. You might even be able to go on a friend's yacht. How do you got a street name? Like, what a street name for what? Why are you even wearing baggy pants? What are you wearing baggy pants for? That's not even a part of your culture. Like I said, it's crazy. Can't do nothing out here. Barb said the franchise boys, yeah, lean with it, rock with it. Yep, or D4L. You got LaFay Boanian, tatted up. DJ Unk. Like I said, when I see the style that I know, I have a whole bunch of songs that's just like popping up from the 2000s. You got, Webby directly up there. Them franchise boys. D4L. Shorty Low. You got T.I., you got Luda. I mean, Usher is technically within there too. You got Soulja Boy. You got Vic, Lil Wayne. Like I said, there's a lot of songs that pull directly up because, again, this is a part of Black American culture, so we know this. When it deals with white folks and they look at this, they're not reading off these things from that era. They're not reading off those songs because, again, it was not something that they were even a part of. They were in their suburbs. So like I said, culturally, it lets you know how people are different. Like, when you show a picture to black folks that specifically has to deal with the black community, we can hear, certain like times of the day. We can hear like certain sounds of like the city. We can hear like our families. We can even give you memories during that time just off of seeing a picture. They can't do that. Like I said, because it's not a part of their culture. But like I said, this is all quote unquote would be considered urban wear. This is Black American. This ain't nothing that white boys are sitting up there doing. Like, come on. Even when I saw white boys doing, I'm like, dog, what are you doing? I'm like, you looking crazy out here. I'm like, what happened to y'all having like the whole emo thing, banana, Republic, the polo and all this other type of stuff that you like? That's what I'm used to sitting up there seeing white boys doing. Polo, Banana Republic, maybe even like the Gap and different stuff. Like, I'm used to them doing that. Now it's like people want to start sliding over to this, where you got like white boys wearing like do-rags and wave caps. What are you doing? What are you doing, Brad? You're not, what are you doing? And now you pulling up with grills? Come on, brother. What we doing out here? What are we doing? You can't be that, you cannot be that bored. Barb said the franchise boys, yeah. Sham said you can't do anything. You can't do anything you dream, child. Success is about failing until you push your way through. Even then, the bills get in the way. Sham said, the We Are the World and You Can Do Anything dream of BS messed up a generation of children. Stop lying to the kids. Robert said, I wonder if Joe Biden is looking for Scooby-Doo right now. That's crazy. Sham said it's crazy how we can talk like them, but they can't do like us. That's facts. First Class said a great deal of blame actually goes to scam Africanist baby boomers from the We Are the World syndrome being so open to these hating immigrants. Barbara said that's what he dresses like. Barbara said black people still dress like that. Yeah. I still like, trust me. The craziest part, I keep telling people, I still have a few. I think probably out of all of the pants that I got, I only got about probably like 3 to 4 pairs of pants that I had from that time, and the bad boys are still good. Those are still good. Like, I love, those pants. They're just, for me, they were great quality. But also during that time frame, the quality was getting a little bit shoddy. But it's technically it's better than what you got here at this moment. Sham said, like, you're racist against black people, but you eat their food and dress like them. Yeah, it's crazy. TB said it's not a street name. They have suburb names. Yeah. Sham said, nah, they don't like big baggy pants too much anymore. It's skinny jeans, which look trashy. Not like even like the whole skinny jean thing. I could have sworn that should have died off about a good 10 years ago. So that should be around like, the 2015, 2014, everything. Like I said, I was already outdone and tired. When I saw old dudes that are like 40 and 50 doing a whole skinny jean, I'm like, wrap it up, throw them in jail. Just throw, like I said, I understand when younger folks do it. You an older dude doing skinny jeans and you still sagging with a belt, brother, pack it up. Dog, your belly is looking crazy. You look like a pregnant whale. Pack it up. Pack them up. Like, man, I was so tired. Because it was just out here, a lot of grown men were out here looking crazy. And you couldn't tell them nothing. And they were still getting women. Dummies. Jesus. Sham said some people sagging skinny jeans with dirty drawers and wondering why no decent girl wants to talk to him. Yep. Ty says, speaking of Ludacris, you heard about people wanting to cancel him again? Nah. I did see Ludacris's commercial. I did see that. Let me see. Let me see. People. Let me see if I can find something. So they said Ludacris faces significant Ludacris faces significant backlash online in early 2026 for his scheduled appearance at the Rock the Country Festival, a tour associated with conservatives, MAGA politics. Fans criticized the rapper for appearing at the politically charged event, leading to his removal from the lineup and his representatives claiming the booking was a mix-up. Like I said, for me, it's whatever. Like I said, let me just put that directly up there. At this point, I don't even care. It's like if he wanted to do the event for the money, so be it. He's a rapper. He's an entertainer at this moment in time. It is what it is. Because if people really wanted Ludacris to make money, then people out there should have been offering money to do stuff elsewhere. That's how I see it. I mean, people can disagree, but I'm saying, like, if you want that artist to still make money, then pony up some millions of dollars so that he don't have to go to these events that are going to be offering him millions of dollars to play his songs. Like I said, whenever you look at a lot of these other concerts out there, you'll see a sea of white folks. Like I said, it was crazy for me to watch a DMX concert, and it was nothing but like white people out there. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I'm like, I ain't never seen such a sea of white people for a black artist. I'm like, you would have thought that this was like, Bon Jovi was out there, or U2, Sting, and you would have thought it was a police reunion or something like that. But that just wasn't the case. It was DMX. And I'm like, that's wild. And again, with a lot of other black artists that this tends to, happen directly with. So, like I said, I want to know who are the ones that's really complaining about it, because I wasn't. I guess, and I just found out about it. But Waba said, yeah. Oh, Sham first said all urban styles are our styles, no matter what era. That's facts. Sham said the skinny jeans and the skirt era needed to go. Yeah, I agree. Tippy said white boys had the emo or the skateboard look. Yep. And the craziest part, Tippy, I thought the skater look, I thought that was dope. I thought that was a dope white boy look. I'm like, yo, that's cold. Like y'all got your own skater styles. Y'all got like the shoes and everything. Y'all could just wear that out anyway. I'm like, yo, that was dope. I'm like, yeah, it's classic. Now you got white boys dressing like black dudes out here. I'm like, now y'all corny. Y'all don't even have your own style. Like now you're just out here looking corny. I'm like, you shouldn't. There should not be this cross the barrier thing, because again, historically speaking, there was no reason for white dudes to have to cross the barrier to dress a certain type of way because of what America is doing and all this. Like it's weird. It's weird. Waba said polo came from us too. I know what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about. I think I might have touched on that a little bit back 4 to 5 months ago, I want to say. And it was somewhere down south. There was a black guy that was a part of a company, and he was specifically doing something. And then he brought that style directly to the designer, and that's what it was. Because I think the designer originally was just doing like suits and ties and stuff like that, normal, menswear. And then it started going into the whole other thing. I know what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about. Ash said, does Banana Republic still exist? It probably does in certain areas. Barb said, and now they call it streetwear or hype beast culture. Yeah, and those are the same folks that wanted to take over the shoe culture as well too. Like I said, gym shoes, or in the UK they call them trainers, or gym shoes. Some people, or tennis shoes or whatnot or whatever. Right? When it deals with gym shoes, the black culture was the main one carrying that. We were the whole ones wrapped around like that whole scene of shoes, because it meant it meant you were at a certain place financially, in a sense, like you could afford this or whatnot or whatever. And within black culture, we're normally, you'll find people walking around with brand new shoes, not scuffed up and all this other type of stuff. Again, because it has a certain type of height or look or connotation, directly to it. When it deals with white culture, that's not what they do. Now maybe if it deals with like dress shoes, shoes that they're going out in celebration or for other types of attire, yeah, cool. When it deals with normal, gym shoes, no, they didn't really care about it like that, because I done seen white boys in the most beat up gym shoes I'd have never seen in life, and they've never put a toothbrush or some Ajax with bleach directly to them. Never. But now when you have black people highlighting something, they'll be like, oh, this is what black people are into. Let's watch this for a minute and let's see where we can come in and start to get some money. And this is when the moment in time I saw a documentary where a white father was like, yeah, I support my son in his shoe business where he buys gym shoes and he resells them. I'm talking about the white boy had a whole in the room. He had a whole office setup where he has like the shoes that he sells. He got a desk. He got like a whole printer and a fax machine. He got the computer, directly there. And he does like this whole thing. And I'm like, that's wild to me. I'm like, something that's not even a part of white culture. Here they go yet again. They get documentaries and all this other type of stuff happening as if this is just like something that they were just, invented, that they just did. And I'm like, nah, you're only doing this because black people are involved. If black people had nothing to do with this, there will be no business realistically. And the profits that you would be able to make directly from that market, the resale market, you wouldn't even be able to get that because white people are not going to go out of their way to try to get all these other types of shoes because again, black people are not there. We wouldn't even be the ones to sit up there and tell you what's hot and what's not and all this other. This is why they have a specific like a Mexican brand of Jordans. Like I said, people can deep dive into stuff and figure it out and whatnot. First class said right. Sherry said Opie thinks he looks hard. That's facts. Sonny said as soon as the white mob made money, they immediately bought music companies and hired talented black artists to recreate the mob lifestyle more creatively to distribute. Waba said in school you couldn't find a belt, you tied a string and sag. Sham said, did you see what Netflix did to Michelle Obama? Nah, I ain't see that. Nope. Waba said, looks like Jerry Curl's making a peek at a comeback. Yep. Let me see. Hack said, salute. Yo, what's up, Hack? Sham said they did her wrong in that documentary. I might have to see what you're talking about. What was it? Rabbit said, I remember when I was 27 and some guys in their 30s with the same facial structure as mine wearing caps. I immediately stopped wearing caps. I'm not old, but I do look grown. Stallion said, nah, let's not forget about those allegations against Nelly and that underage girl. I'm confused. What are we talking about? I'm like, how do we even get here? Waba said it got to snow for a warm winter. Huh? Mo said saw the Ratchets mad at Sexy Red because she performed at the wedding of Trump's associates. I mean, it'd be like that. The Ratchets ain't out there, asking for Sexy Red to come and do concerts right now, and she ain't come up with any new music in a long time. Like, I'm not sure what money she living off of. I guess she must be financially literate because she ain't really been. I haven't seen hide nor hair of Sexy Red at all. During the 2024, 2023, maybe even 2022. For those 3 years, you were able to see her all over the place, pregnant or not pregnant, dancing on stage barefoot. Now in 2026, you don't see none of that. So now they're gonna end up calling her up. Again, it's gonna be a minstrel show. We want to pay you this money, but you're gonna be singing and dancing for us, and you're gonna be doing the unedited version of the lyrics. And you're gonna have the drunk white girls dancing who don't know how to dance, and they're gonna be twerking, not knowing how to twerk or got nothing to twerk. And then you're gonna have the white boys getting drunk, and they're gonna do the normal white boy dances. And again, they still be raising the roof. And I'm like, how does this, like, is it just innate? Is it just woven into the DNA to do this? I'm like, it's crazy, but it'd be like that. Tibby said, yeah, I missed the skater boys being ruthless skating with no protection. That was rad. this woman, Sonny said a popular opinion. And that was the moment where Kanye started not only dressing like Shia LaBeouf, but he was literally wearing his clothes. Crazy. Sham said Trump came out and called the Obamas. Oh yeah, I got that video. The video on Truth Social. Yeah, I got that video. He mad the documentary blew his wife's one out of the water. I mean, yeah, who's going to see like a Melania document? I'm like, what? Who you think like she's what was it, Onassis? You think she's like JFK's wife? Yeah, nah. Ain't nobody like, yeah, if JFK, if they did another one on JFK's wife, yeah, people will sit up there and pull up to the scene and see that on Netflix. They not watching nothing about Melania like that. I have not even seen a lot of white American women even try to be Melania. I've not even seen it. So, be like that. I mean, unless you went to Mar-a-Lago or something like that. I guess that's the only way that's happening. Sherry said Gap, Banana Republic, and Old Navy stores still exist in New York. Okay. While I was sitting up here laughing, Sham said, yeah, the Netflix being the people that they are, moved her documentary to the kids category. Why she's trending numbers one for your documentaries. Sham also said to do this during Black History Month, these people asking for trouble. Waba said Bill Burr told the truth. When a black man don't care about his shoes, no more, he is depressed. I mean, yeah, it'd be tough. It'd be tough. You that when you are a black guy, you ain't really worried about your shoes. You busy on a whole bunch of other stuff. You either going through something mentally, or life is just hitting you so much that you got no other time but to basically just focus on that and just continue day to day. So yeah, there's truth to that. There is truth to that. First Class said that a big reason why white kids started wearing our style is due to Eminem, Slim Shady wave, the era popularizing. Oh yeah. That's true. That's true. That's true. I forgot all about that. Sonny said, I felt that. Tippy said, speaking of movies, my favorite of all white movies is The Notebook. Oh my God, this one we went there. What do you want? I don't know. Tell me, what do you want? I don't know what I want. It's crazy. Shauna said, why would they watch? Well, why would they watch an ex star like that? Really, she is not a model for who? Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Sham said, LOL, unless he's wearing black Air Force Ones, then it doesn't mess with him ever. He's beyond crazy. Ah, yes. Black Air Force energy. Yes. Oh, yo. My thing with Air Forces though is like they crease too much. It's like the sole, you had to basically walk a certain type of way in order for it not to crease, right? And then on top of that, for me, I did not like lows. Everybody liked lows for some reason. I'm sorry. I was not the type of person. Number one, I like ankle support. I like ankle support. And number two, I'm not trying to always find dirt in my shoes. That's the problem that I hate that I have with lows. If you wear anything that has low shoes where the ankle support, where they have like that little half moon below the ankle, oh yeah, when you're walking, oh, especially if you're walking in an area where you got like rocks and dust and dirt. Oh yeah, all of that is going directly into your shoes. It's over. It's over. So like I said before, I don't know how people sit up there and do that, or why people do it, but hey, I guess people like spending money on socks and having the inside of their shoes, just dirty. Can't be me. Cannot be me. Sonny said I have two brand new pairs of Jordans that I still haven't worn because I've been busy for 5 years trying to feel better. Let me tell you this. One of the celebrities had brought up an issue with those Jordans. So even if you put them in an area you don't really touch them, I think, who was it? Was it Trick Daddy or somebody? I forgot who it was. He went through multiple pairs of Jordans and they were just falling apart. I'm talking about, as soon as you touched them, they were crumbling. I'm like, ooh. I'm like, I ain't never have shoes do that to me. I'm like, thank God that I actually liked wearing the shoes that I have instead of just, putting them up and trying to save me. Yeah, I can't do that. Man, I couldn't even explain to you how pissed I would be seeing my shoes and the money that I spent just falling apart like that. That's wild. That was just wild to me. I'm like, that is hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. Well, technically, it's probably because it was celebrity. It's well over thousands of dollars that was, gone. Mo said had to look it up just now. Obama's not called, but depicted as is diabolical. Yeah, they depicted as the Obamas as monkeys. Yep. I put the video. I'll put it in the Discord. Matter of fact, let me just do that right now while I remember. Let me go to Discord. Let me put that video directly up there to make it easier so people won't have to search. Let me go here. And let me upload the file real quick. Where did it go? Yeah, so for those out there, I got it directly up there. They got him depicted as a chimp and a gorilla, which is crazy. Wild work. But people say that, oh, racism don't exist in this country. Okay. You know, they're going to sit up and say, like, oh, you know, it was a typo. It was a mistake that, you know, that was just whatnot. It's going to be, you know, some crazy work. Crazy work. Shauna said, or there were a certain amount of tube socks to make them thick so they didn't crease. Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. Sonny said they invented a new device that prevents your sneakers from creasing. That's curious, man. Tippy said I have different colors of Converse. No, Converses are dope. I always thought that Converses were dope. The only thing that I didn't like was that the sole is a very thick sole, but it's like you really didn't have protection for the foot. And you can't wear Converses, let's say if it's raining out, because that water is going directly through. Like it's over for you. Like your foot is automatically wet. There's no ifs, ands, or buts directly about it. And if you hit a puddle, oh, it's over for you. It is directly over for you. Sham said, don't wait. It makes with unks that wear white socks and black sandals. He got a belt somewhere with your name on it. Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. What was it? Sonny said I should look at them. I've never worn them either. Yeah, you gotta check those. Because the thing that somebody said about the shoes is that you gotta make sure to like wear them a little, not saying like every day, but more times than not, you gotta make sure to wear them because it will help with the shoes not breaking down. Emmanuel said now I'm reluctant. Oh man. Waba said Dr. Scholes. Sonny said I told myself I'm gonna wear them next week when my skin clears up. That was over 4 years ago. It'd be like that, you know. You end up putting stuff to the side and not doing it. I told myself a while ago, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna sit up there and just work out. And I've been telling myself that every day ever since. And that was years ago. See, this is why I need snow back on the ground. Because now you got people that just want to pull up to the scene, revving up their car. I'm like, for what? Like, what are you doing? I'm like, it don't make any type of sense. Like, you just want to be loud for no. Bring the snow back on the ground. Put ice. Put everything back down there. Sham said I was against Dr. Scholes because I was like, does this work? And when people put them in my heel and some of my shoes, it does help my back a bit and my feet. Yeah, it does work. It helps with the arch support. Waba said, who modeled the pump up shoes? Was it Charles Barkley or I remember Charles Barkley with the pump ups where it had like the basketball directly in the in like the center. I thought those were always dope. I always wanted a pair of two. I never got one. Never got one. Never got one. It's tough times out here. Tough times. Let me tell you. It be like that though. Oh, we've been talking for about like 3 hours. Let me see. Do we have another video that I could actually put up here that does not need to be edited? Oh yeah, let me show y'all this this snowplow video real quick because this was ridiculous to me. I'm like, I ain't never seen any type of foolishness, like this in my life. So let me just put this up here.
A highway. Right,
Breach of peace and illegal deposit of snow.
Yep.
Okay.
So you're going to be
outstanding
on a PPA. You got to go in on April.
I'm not fucking going anywhere for this. I'm sending this right to the news.
Okay. So April.
All right.
April.
Fozzie, come down. Hey, hold on. Let me get the dogs in. Fozzie, get in. Mark, get in, please. Fozzie, get in. Hey, be careful. You're going to get breach of peace.
All right. So James. So
go on.
April 6th, 2021.
I'm not fucking going anywhere.
9 a.m. on 17th Building.
All right. Good for you.
All right.
All right. No, I'm not signing shit.
James, if you don't
I'm not signing that. This is absurd.
If you don't sign it, I'm going to put you in handcuffs and bring you in.
You're gonna fucking put me in handcuffs for fucking plowing my neighbor's fucking driveways?
I don't want to do that to you. So if you just sign this and go to court, we'll be done with it.
No, I'm not going to court for that shit. This is fucking ridiculous. Go ahead. Anybody tell me that you're, go ahead. Tell the news that I am getting arrested for plowing my neighbor's driveways. Go ahead. I dare one of you guys say it.
You're getting arrested for plowing.
Okay, thank you.
Do you want to sign?
Arrest me.
Do you want to sign the summons or not?
You get a ticket right now.
You're getting a summons to appear in court.
I'm not going to court. I'm not taking this ticket. I'm not signing shit.
You're gonna make it harder for yourself. This is.
I don't get, dude. I'm not going to fucking court for plowing my neighbor's driveways.
Okay, so
I'm sorry.
So sign it.
James, just sign the form and don't show up to court, and then there'll be a warrant.
No, I'm not signing shit. Arrest me.
I don't want to take you.
All right, arrest me. Arrest me.
James,
go on.
We don't want to do it.
No. Please, just go ahead and do it.
James, I don't want to do it to you.
Oh,
all right.
That's all right.
So asking you to take the easy way.
Okay, go ahead.
James, do you want to
arrest me?
Do you want to sign the summons? Yes or
no?
All right.
And as I said before, cops are just bored, making random charges just to give you tickets. You don't want to take the ticket. Oh, well, all right, we're just going to take you to jail and add more charges on it. And like I said, I really just feel like these cops are bored. But y'all tell me what y'all think about this and this whole interaction.
Right. And again, white people, y'all allowed this to happen. That's the best that I got for it. That's the best that I can sit up there and tell anybody. White people, you got stuff like this to happen, and you allow the police to have this type of power. The dude basically plowed a neighbor's driveway. I think it was like an elderly neighbor, whatnot, or whatever. And they wanted to try to say that it was breach of peace or however it is that they wanted to label it as. I'm about to see if I could find the video real quick to see if I could give you what they had above it. Because like I said, to me, I've never heard of nonsense like that in my life. Like you're really about to arrest this dude because he plowed a neighbor's driveway. Yeah, so this is what it said above the video. It said it snowed so much overnight that an elderly neighbor was overwhelmed. It was buried in by the snow that was pushed into the driveway by the city when the city plowed. The man that you saw in the video was plowing his own driveway and decided to go over to his neighbors and help them do theirs as well. After he plows the neighbor's driveway, a few hours later, he gets a visit from the police. Someone called the cops on this man for doing that, and he is now being cited for breach of peace and illegal deposit of snow. The man refuses to sign the ticket. He is refusing to go to court despite the officer stating that they will arrest him for it. This goes on for some time, and the man eventually gets arrested for plowing the neighbor's driveway. Would you have refused to sign the ticket as well? Like I said, I ain't never seen no foolishness like this. That's crazy. That is 100% crazy. Oh, that was from Connecticut? Wow. Wow, that's crazy. Wow. Like I said, I'm just gonna sit back and watch, these things, happen directly to white folks. To be like that. So as you see these laws getting more and more ridiculous, and you see your rights getting stripped directly away, you're starting to see more white folks filming the things that they are specifically going through with the police. And I'm like, well, welcome to the world. Because we've had to put up with a lot of these things for so long. Now it's going to like I told people over time, whatever they enact directly on black folks is going to slowly but surely happen directly to them. They're going to have to, end up going through and dealing with those situations. It'd be like that. But But as Shauna stated, but if this was somebody black and he refused to sign a ticket and he said, you can just arrest me, all three of those cops, they would have pulled out tasers. They would have had a K9 unit. They would have had 18 cop cars, probably half the precinct. They would have feared for their lives, been firing shot. It would have been all over the place. They would have been wrestling the dude on the snow, and they would have kept him there for a long time so that he can get cold, he can get wet, he can get sick, and then they were going to put him, directly in lockup and keep him there. Like I said, I know how this would have worked. Wabba said a ticket for cleaning snow. That's wild. Yep. Sherry said pale-faced individuals vote for more policing, so they got it. Yep. Sonny said truth is they weren't even going to show up in court. Yeah, they never show up in court. Shauna said right. Sham said never buy a house in a whole neighborhood. Yeah, that's true. Sean also said, welcome to the Black Experience. Bars. First Class said, this is called a reality check. Hack said they wanted to find the elderly man for being unable to upkeep his driveway, which takes money away from the city, and when they put liens on people's homes. It's crazy. Sonny said, ain't it fun? Living in the real world. Yo, that's my song. Paramore. I know, yeah. Dun 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 dun. Yeah. Paramore, that's they got some good songs. Like I said, when that choir started coming directly in that song, when you're living all alone in the real world, when that choir came in, it was church. It was taking it somewhere. Wabba said, well, I guess it's against the law to do a good deed. White folks. Yeah, it is. White folks are the same ones that made it illegal to, help the homeless. There's so much red tapes and rules and regulations that they've made for ordinary people to help the homeless. It's ridiculous. And now it's going to start to get to the point over time. It's going to take a few years, but it's going to start to get to the point over time where if you want to help out your neighbor, if anything is going wrong, like let's say you want to give them food or water, oh yeah, they're going to be watching that real quick. The money said, don't go crying to your mama because you're all alone in the real world. Be like that. Matter of fact, now I'm gonna be sitting up there listening to that song later today. I'm gonna have to turn that song on now. But yeah, guys, that was pretty much it. Much love, respect, and appreciation to any and all folks who pulled directly up to the live stream. Before Tippy says it, no, I am not doing a game stream. I gotta get Tippy before she say it. Cause I know Tippy be like, hey, before you go, game stream. No, Tippy. Does it to me every time. I kid you not. Much love, respect, and appreciation to any and everybody that's been here. Shout out to the moderators, to the regulars, as D Money would say. Shout out to anybody who has donated, dropped jewels directly into the chat. Much love, respect, and appreciation to any new subscribers, or to the folks that decided to stop by. Much love, respect, and appreciation. What did Tippy say? Sham was like, LOL. Tippy was like, darn. Sham said, what you eat for dinner? I'm probably going to just I'm going to reheat the rice that I made last night around like 4 and open up another can of sardines. So I've just been eating some sardines and rice, a little simple meal there, simple, healthy, type of meal, filled with, some oils. Already got, a nice salt content directly in there, so I don't need to add nothing into nothing. What was it? D Money said it's the thing for 2026. That's crazy. Wabba said probably a Karen call, and that's crazy. Like having somebody in that community around white folks calling the police on white folks for doing the right thing. That is wild. So you already know if there's ever a one world type of government or anything like that. Like I said, you already know the main people that's going to be calling the cops on their neighbors. Like I said, it's over. Wabba said he is eating spaghetti. What is it? KL said bone apple teeth or bone appetit. D-Money is making faces. I mean, there ain't nothing wrong with it. It tastes good, actually. Got, I think some omega-3s and whatnot in there, so it's good. Tippy said, what brand of sardines with olive oil? Yeah, it's the ones with the olive oil. I forgot the name. It got like a white fisherman on the front or something like that of the plastic package in a gold, can or whatever. Sham said, I got salmon in the fridge, but man, I want some chicken tonight. Tippy said, chicken of the sea. I don't think that's it. I don't think. Sherry said, sardines and vegetables and rice sounds good. The funny thing is, I didn't have any vegetables. If I did, I would have probably had broccoli. I mean, I could put some string beans with it, but I don't know. I feel like I probably need to add like some peppers or something to it. I don't know. Tippy said my can is silver. I think I seen the silver can. I think my grandma used to get the silver can. Is that I think that's the one that has water, I think, versus olive oil, I think. Tippy said I put it in Discord, LOL. When I shut down Discord, well, I had shut it down over 5 minutes ago. Hold on, now I gotta go back. Gotta go to channels. Let me see. Discord. Find Discord real quick. Where did she put it? She didn't put it in announcements. Nope. Wait, Tippy says she put it in Discord. Discord where? Wait, did you put it in Sham's Discord? Or I don't know. Where does someone put this in Discord? Now I gotta go back here. I do not see it, Tippy. First class said that tuna, that's the chicken of the sea. Oh, okay. Okay, you talking about the tuna. Yeah, because I was like, I don't think that was the name of the brand for the sardines though. But yeah, obviously D Money, even though the man works out, D Money is a sardine hater. Sardines are actually pretty good and healthy for you. It's not bad. Just make sure to drink water because of the sodium content though. Wabba said, yeah, the blue fish with the shades is water, not oil. Okay, yeah. Like I said, a lot of stuff I used to know by heart, but it's been a minute. Yeah, because I did not see it. Because I looked, even in general chat, and I didn't see it. Okay, now I see it. Chicken of the sea. Oh no, okay. So yours got olive oil directly in it. Yeah, I don't think I had that one before. But yeah, sardines is pretty good. The reason I ended up actually liking sardines is due to my grandma because she would always have them, and then I would just eat them directly with her. We would have like the sardines and crackers, and it was pretty good. Or sometimes she would have like the sardines and rice. I'm like, yo, this is actually like, yo, this is pretty good. I'm like, and I just remembered that because it was like every once in a while when you have memories and you're going back through stuff, I'm like, yo, what was that I used to eat before? It was like, I used to eat that a while ago. And then it's like, yo, as an adult, I could just, go through and make this and I don't gotta, wait or all this other type of stuff. So, like I said, pretty good. Sham said, I don't like the olive oil sardines. I like the water. Okay. Oh yeah, I saw it to be. Yeah. Sham said, my dad and my grandmother do it too. So do I. Yeah. Yep. Sham said, oh yeah, Chicken of the Sea is a brand name. I feel like Sham is trying to say that Tippy got rich taste by saying that it's a brand name. Tippy said, have you tried Brunswick lemon pepper sardines? Nah. I've just normally always had like the normal sardines. And I think the only other small fish that I had is probably anchovies. And I've had that on pizza, which is not bad at all, which is crazy. It's pretty crazy. Why was it Seiji? I wouldn't watch the movie called Spaghetti until after I just ate. Yeah, I don't even know what that is. Let me tell you. Sounds like a horror film. Tippy said you should try that. It's good. And okay, you said it's a longer can, so you probably get more of it. Okay. Wow, that's crazy. D Money said Tippy has plantation taste. That's wild. Rabbit said, I swear sometimes my people embarrass me. Just saw a video of an African woman getting scared because the because of something comfortable she was putting on the roof. I'm a little bit confused on that one. Tippy said I'll put it in Discord. Barb said what it tastes like, sardines on pizza. It's not bad. No. I think it was it's anchovies. Anchovies on pizza. That I want to blame that one on Ninja Turtles. Growing up watching Ninja Turtles, like there's certain foods that I grew up liking because of the cartoons. So Sonic, it was chili dogs. Um Garfield, it was lasagna. And then Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, it was, anchovies on pizza. I didn't do the anchovies on pizza up until later on in life. But those three foods are all due to cartoons. And then you got spinach because of Popeye. I mean, to me, spinach never tasted bad anyway. You can just, put some, butter, some salt and, whatnot to it, and it's fine. Nothing wrong with it. Barb sitting up here laughing, first class laughing. Barb said I'm gonna try anchovies. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. One of the other times I've ordered anchovies on pizza was from Domino's. And I was like, hey, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. Not bad. I will just tell you, just make sure if you're having sardines or anchovies, make sure that you drink water because there is sodium content directly there. I think with the sardines that I have, I'm not sure what the content of the anchovies may be, but I know the pizza already has sodium content, and then you got the anchovies. But just naturally with the sardines, if I remember correctly, looking at the back, I think it was 350 milligrams of sodium. So, I want to just make sure to have you quite a bit of water to get that out your system to dilute that. Hack said this is a 10. The tab is 13. Wait, I'm lost on that. Barb said they used to make it in Caesar salads. LOL, what's the difference? I didn't know that. Did not know that. Hack said you're 5 minutes late, dude. How am I 5 minutes late? Wait. Are you talking about the sardine? What's the name? Wait, I'm confused. You said the picture didn't show. No, it did show for the sardines. Oh, okay. You talking about for the Brunswick? Okay, I got you. Lemon and cracked pepper. Okay. Herring fillings. Woo. Oh, okay. So we got 550 milligrams of omega-3 fatty acids per serving. Okay, that's good. Need to see what that sodium look like though. Does that look like the one? No, I don't think I got Brunswick. I got the but I do have a gold can though. But yeah, I see it. Let me just put one of my other what's the names? Let Tippy know that I see it up there. Because Tippy will start losing it. I forgot I actually still got Nitro, so I can use the little emotes in there. Hack said from TMNT, yep. Pizza dude, yep. Wappa said I fell in love with cheddar cheese because of Goof Troops. Oh yeah, cheddar cheese is pretty good. For me, the funniest thing is I think I fell in love with Kobe cheese before cheddar. And then later on in life, I started liking, cheddar and then sharp cheddar, stuff like that more, or mixes of cheddar and Kobe and stuff. Tippy said, click the link in Discord for the lemon pepper herring fillets. First class and anchovies is the main ingredient in Worcestershire sauce, aka steak sauce. I did not know that. That would also explain the sodium levels. Tippy said, thank you, LOL. Because Tippy be swearing every single time. I do not see the stuff that she posted. So I got to just start marking it like that from now on. Waba says, so that's why I break out from pizza now. Oh, snap. Oh, you allergic to anchovies? Oh, snap. Dang, that's tough. Or are you talking about is it because of the cheddar cheese? This woman is posting in here. I swear to God. She posted here organic. Oh yeah, seaweed is all right. I mean, for me, seaweed is fine due to the fact that I have sushi, so it's whatever. Oh yeah, seaweed is fine. Let me just mark this because they'll be like, you didn't see it. You didn't read my comment. Now she just doing this on purpose. I swear to goodness, she about to find something else to put in Discord. I'm about to close out. I'm about to close Discord on purpose. I swear to goodness. Timmy said, I heard it's good. Oh, you talking about seaweed is good for diabetes? Yeah. It's you got a lot of things out there that can, help with quite a variety of things. It can lessen certain things and whatnot. So yeah. Yes, indeed. First class said, well, be careful, bro. They could be an allergic reaction. Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah. Oh wait, you said the sauce? Wait, are you talking about the steak sauce? Or are you talking about the pizza sauce? I'm confused on that one. But yeah, be very careful with that because that may be an allergic reaction. So, hopefully it's just a light reaction and it's not anything that's too severe. Because you don't want anything happening where it's going to, close up your throat or anything like that. Okay, so it's the pizza sauce then. Dang, that's tough. I mean, I guess you might have to go the route, and I think did I try that before? I'm not sure. I mean, but they do got hot sauce, that you can substitute. I think what was it, buffalo? You can do Alfredo or whatnot, whatever. That Alfredo, that's just a clear cut mess right there. Now I will say there's a certain type of Alfredo sauce that they put on pasta that I order from I think what do I have? I think it was called the Queen's something. It was like shrimp, chicken with pasta with some Alfredo sauce. That Alfredo sauce, now if they were to throw that directly on a pizza, I think that would actually be good. But I've never, liked different sauces like that on pizza. I've always been standard issue, you know. Wobby said that's why I make my own sauce. Oh, okay, I got you. The pizza sauce, yeah. Yeah, please be careful with that. I don't know a few people that got some, reactions with different foods and stuff. Man, it's tough. You said I break out with hives and my throat closes and my eyes swell. Oh yeah, it's like Hitch. Yeah, you gotta be real careful with that, man. I would be afraid for you to even like eat anything out because so many things have different other ingredients in it. Because like even with gummy bears and different stuff, like you got some people that may be allergic to pork, and you got pork in a lot of different things, or things dealing with seafood. You got seafood, and a lot of different things that should not actually even be there. But first class said, "Yeah, that's serious. Yeah, it is." So yeah, you gotta make sure to be very cautious to take care of that. You say you can't eat any shellfish at all. Ooh, yeah, you gotta be ultra cautious then. Ultra cautious. But yeah, that's it, y'all. That is it. I'm gonna let y'all have it the rest of y'all day. It's dusk, outside at the moment of time, 5:33. So I'll let y'all have the rest of y'all day. And hopefully y'all enjoy the live stream. And I will catch y'all in the next live stream and or video. Peace out.